Oh yeah! You came to it, and it's here. Another intermediate gameplay, and you already know what we came to play because we came to game. You can't alter your past, but you can bring your past to the altar. Can I get an amen? Because it's intermediate grand finals. My name Jay Money. They call me Jamon. I'm here with M17 and Wrestling, aka Mr. Dista underscore on production. M17, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. It's good to see good to see another IM game. Always love casting IM grands. It's been like, every season now since fucking season 11, my goodness. But um, this is the first seeded versus second seeded team. We've got fadedthanaho in the upper bracket with the map advantage versus Satisfactory Sixes players, and the upper bracket team has a one map advantage in a best of five.
We're looking at some beautiful gameplay. We're looking at some rosters and a returning roster. Glad to see Satisfactory Sixers players got away from their loss the last time you saw them live on this channel. But hey, it's okay. They said we lost that game. It's double Elam. We just come back in this a lower bracket semi, and then we come back in the lower bracket upper. It works out. It works out great. But M17, we got a new team that we haven't really seen on the camera though. What if we go through these rosters real quick before we talk about the maps?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start with Faded Benaho. It's Squish on Pocket Scout, All Hype on Flank Scout, Finn on Roamer, Pocket is Draconic, Demo is Steb, and JU is on Medic.
And then Satisfactory Sixes players, you were looking at Corn Sauce on Pocket Scout after they had Robo beforehand, but there's some lore later. We got Zanza on Flank Scout. We have Cosmo on Roamer. We got Robo Serrano on Pocket. We got Effion on Demoman. And then we got Meta XB Man. XB Man's back on the medic, and let me tell you, some of these aliases, you know what? I'm mad. Oh, never mind. We're back. But along that line, I will say one thing that's really interesting is that going back to looking at some of these teams are more. Oh wait, am I crazy? Wait, am I crazy? The game's actually started. Am I nuts? Am I nuts? Wait, no. Okay, I thought I
No,
was
no, it
nuts.
looks
I
like
thought I
it's,
was
yeah.
nuts. I was crazy. I was crazy. But nah, man. Oh, I am nuts. Oh. No way, I am nuts. But what I will go ahead and tell you, M17, from the likes and what we're looking at, we see Satisfactory Sixers players back on the ball again, making their return against a new team, faded than a hoe. Crazy Yodi gang reference. What are some expectations that you have with both of these teams, especially from what we've already seen from Satisfactory Sixers players going against the new improved, or going against the new and improved, that new and improved being a whole different team in its entirety?
Well, I'm not sure because the only time that Faded Benaho lost in the regular season was week 1B on Sunshine, but we're
Mm,
not going to be playing any Sunshine tonight. Map 1 is going to be Bagel.
mm.
Map 2 will be Clearcut, and then the following maps, if we need them, will be Gullywash as map 3 and Process as the final map.
A nice little lineup, especially because we're faded in the hoe has a math advantage going in it, and this is technically it's grand finals, which means it's a best of five. So in terms of the upper bracket wins, they only need to win twice, whereas we need to see a thrice kind of win, kind of step out from big old Satisfactory to realistically enter the realm of being a potential contender in this grand finals. They are contending, they are here, but we got to see some scores on the board if I am going to believe that it is potentially doable, especially coming from a little bit of I say last week, but coming from a little bit of the last game that we did see with on this channel. But hey, it is what it is. I will say going into COD first, because I'm pretty sure of all the maps that we have right now, this is the only map. But well, excuse me, I'm sorry. We have Clearcut literally right after this, so we are still getting your both COF maps. So I'm excited to see exactly how both these teams are going to kind of perform.
Oh yeah, and I mean, speaking of their performances, after Satisfactory Sixes players lost 2.6 drop cycle in the first round of playoffs, they did
Mm.
win 2-1 in their first losers bracket round, and then beat 2.6 drop cycle 2-0 in the rematch. So, I mean, it looks like they've maybe, I would hopefully for their sake, they've kind of fixed what's going on, so they're ready and prepared to face definitely a stronger team. And I mean, they even faced off again in the regular season a second time, I believe. Let me just
Mhm.
take a quick peek. Uh, oh, did they? Yes, they did in week 5 on Metalworks. And it was a 3-1 victory for Fadedthanaho. So definitely, I don't think these teams are like too crazy unbalanced, but we are going live here.
Mm. With that going live as well, what's really interesting coming into it is we are looking to see some new players in the field going along that line. But hey, it is how it is. Mid go ahead and starts. We're not really seeing any immediate action. We're just kind of seeing both of the teams kind of trade spam a little back and forth. But it is chill. It's fine for the majority of the most part. We are seeing a high bomb come in, right? Seeing if we're gonna land, but it's actually just gonna be a soldier going behind. That's gonna be Thofin trying to make his move as the rest of blue slowly creeps onto the point to go ahead and start contesting for this point as we do it. But we do have a soldier behind. He does get dealt with as the rest of team red is pretty much just going ahead and trying to do a small little blender. Effion is going to be one of the first picks on the blue, but that's okay. Squish actually does get traded out because he tried to fight for that point. And where they still do have Steb, we are trying to see the likes of Faded go ahead and contest for points back and forth, and that's exactly what we're seeing. A commit coming in from Blue Robo. It gets the drop on the JU, solidifying at 14 Satisfactory. A very nice start to a kind of a slow back and forth tilly-dally, but as that has happened, they do want to go ahead. Satisfactory, they lost 2, they want to go ahead and save their men. We do see a recapture from the side, from Faded as well. M17, we're looking at add on the board.
Yeah, it was maybe a little sketchy there for a second because it looked like they might have gotten caught, but here comes the actual 4-man commit, I believe, or just a demo sack from Steb. A little bit of a miscoordinated sack. They do get, Draconic does get a kill onto Corn Sauce, but these players are dying a little bit too separated. All the hype might even die late here. Looks like he is going to work his way out, but dying that late is something you got to be careful of. Although, with that being said, Satisfactory just now recapped the point, so I think Fadedthanaho is going to be okay with that because they just delayed so much time off the clock, and they're going to get Uber pretty soon too, and they'll be ready to refight this.
It is going to most likely be a trade. Now, what we are going to see here is that Faded is going to be in a position to where they can initiate the trade first, but Hype going to be one of the first to die within this refight, trying to go ahead with an Uber coming out from Faded, and it's going to be a lot better from Satisfactory. No Effion, no Zanza to go ahead and try to recontest, but there's still even numbers on both teams. We just don't see the demo from the side of Satisfactory, but the point is captured from the side of Faded, and they do run down the clock, but it is pretty neck and neck in terms of time, as we are trying to see some slow fighting back and forth. No one's really contesting for anything or trying to take any unnecessary trades or unnecessary fights. At this point in time, we're pretty much just trying to calculate everything onto the point and focus, and that's exactly what you see here coming from Satisfactory. Focusing damage, but also taking advantage of the pressure, which is actually what we're seeing. A lot of good soldier damage coming out from Cosmo right on the Squish, and Hype on 27 HP as this fight just continues to go back and forth, trading spam back and forth. Dolphin at 44 has to retreat, along with Cosmos at 64, and even though we are still seeing the likes of point being in favor more Faded as a little commit coming inside. Is that going to be the life of Zanza? It is absolutely not before Squish does get traded out, and Uber is still in the hands. Dolphin is behind, trying to draw back some numbers, trying to draw back as much as he can. He does kind of draw back a little bit, but in the main door, looking to go ahead and land right on the XP, trying to get something done, and it's levitated. You're not really going to see it. And then the Uber does come out, M17 with the Uber actually looking to be more in favor again than Satisfactory, but it looks like they're just going to take the trade and initiate and take the point, along with you, Squish as well.
Yeah, there are these heals in this right house for the side of Faded, and they're trying to retake the point, but Satisfactory has that extra player. They're just going to force some off, and they're not going to let that point recapture happen. And Faded just backs up, going to heal up, wait for their spawners, or just wait for Squish to respawn so they can refight. Bit of an interesting way to pressure the point here. It looks like Satisfactory's been really heavy on shooting directly at the point with their soldiers from their side, whereas Faded is still like really just spamming from the house. Although Steb gets a long range kill onto Evian. That's a huge demo kill, and that's going to allow them to retake the point. And Faded's in a good position now, although about to even Ubers.
You know what I like from what I'm seeing so far, Satisfactory is doing a good job at a lot of these pressure plays. I like just trying to consolidate all the damage in the one spot. But what I'm seeing a lot from Faded is that even though they lose a pick, but a trade and happens, it's actually going to be more in favor of Faded. Trying to see if we can look for players that are unhealthy, but also trying to not be in a position to where you overextend. It's going to be the case of Squish, who does do just that and overextends, but not before Corn Sauce needs his maker. Speaking of maker, Robo trying to find his with Evian in his hands and going ahead and killing their two, solidifying the point and player advantage for Team Satisfactory. And oh no, the medic JU93 cannot get out from the main doors, but not before Draconic gets his mans, and that mans is the heal mans on the opposite side. Satisfactory going to be at a slight Uber disad and a slight player disad, at least for the next couple seconds, but we are going to start slowly but surely seeing the likes of Faded get all their players and move back and see if they can consolidate all the damage into one spot, or at least just get the point and worry about the time.
Yeah, Cosmo did do well to win that fight help win his fight for the team, but then him going down means that Faded just retakes the point. They do have two people still on the side of Faded in this house aggressive here, still kind of pressured up. I wonder if we'll see any other aggressive shoves. Scouts on both teams being low, as the Satisfactory is just trying to get some sort of time on points, trying to get anything they can get, or just look for any picks. So many little players on both teams. Robo does jump in and get the cleanup kill onto Squish. Still a bunch of fighting over the point, and Satisfactory does retake it, but they did let it go to overtime, which means they cannot let the enemy team recapture. And here comes the aggressive Uber. XB-Man just uses his time.
Just as the Uber actually, XB did a phenomenal job of staying alive as that Uber was being initiated back into the team. We are looking at a 3v5. Satisfactory does have the player advantage, but pretty much has to stay together to see if they can consolidate any other kill. Steb 139 is just gonna go ahead and pretty much play his life. He does not want to take that chance. He just wants to take this chance to go ahead and reinitiate with his team. Exactly what we're seeing. Another team fight going and happening. We see Robo actually in the side left house trying to see if he can get some early spam. Dolphin went ahead for the initiation. A distraction that would have been solidified. Oh, and it is! It is solidified. Nobody's going to fight for that point on the side of Satisfactory. Everybody got so spread out by Finn's little bomb. It was a distraction bomb. He was the flashbang, and he did the classic Mirage flashbang right onto the mid blind sniper nest, and that's exactly what you saw in TF2 style. Beautiful game, beautiful work from Finn.
Yeah, just barely capped under the nose of Robo, who was like in the house spamming, but then just didn't get a chance to walk onto the point in time. And it's going to be 1-0 in favor of Satisfactory. Oh, Scout almost goes down there. Is going to live on the side of Squish, that is. But huge double kill triple kill from the side of Satisfactory. They do lose one, but that's going to cause, Faded 2 lead. Draconic is going to get this pack, and he might get out, although Zinza is trying to chase, is not going to be able to catch Draconic, and that's going to be a mid-win for the side of Satisfactory. And since they had so much space, they're getting set up in their forward hold with the demo trapping up the right side and both soldiers over here on the left.
Delicious little forward hold from what we're seeing here from Satisfactory. We actually also have Finn on the big spy clash, trying to see if he can make something happen. He's on the spy circle, mid-knife, gonna say it, not on the black rose. Kind of Mickey, but hey, it happens. I don't think anyone, no one's gonna know that he's on spy. No one's gonna know that he's on spy with the decloak stab onto the XP, and that with the lights. We don't even have to see Faded come out with the Uber yet, but that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna come out with the Uber and use and go for picks and kills of any kind. As Xander, Robo, and Cosmo gonna do some of the few to go ahead and die within this Uber. Corn Sauce goes ahead and meets his maker. His maker is hype, who's gonna just keep being hyper until that kill is solidified in every way, shape, and form. Beautiful little counterplay. Finn wins spy, got the little immediate stab. That was some nice work, M17. They didn't expect that whatsoever.
Oh yeah, but it's definitely not over for either team. I'd say it's pretty even here because Faded does have the extra space that they get to hold down and make Satisfactory breakthrough, but they also are down on time, although the Scout very low on this right side here, barely gonna get out, is all hype. And Steb's just trying to do his best to spam. Draconic did work his way in behind, gets a kill onto Cosmo, and he's still in behind. and actually a kill goes through onto XB, man. Cosmo is dead, and Draconic gets a kill onto Robo in the back lines, whereas the rest of Satisfactory did go forward. Draconic gets another kill. He's still fighting, gets another kill. Oh my goodness, and Cupojo finally cleans him up, but that is just absolutely brutal for Satisfactory.
Draconic coming out with a 4-kill spread, making it, oh my goodness, spreading it out like it's Nutella on some bread, toasted with bananas on it. Oh my, delicious. As currently, we are seeing full ad coming out from the side of Faded, looking like they really don't want to contest this yet unless we see a competent medic commit, but we're seeing XP kind of play right by Plat, doesn't really want to have anything happen. A 4-man comes into play, but we are seeing Juju not be able to dodge enough. As Zanza's going to be the one to go ahead and drop him right into the ground. The 4-man from Satisfactory was successful. You gotta pop it. You can't drop it. You got too many players on you. You might as well just pop it. But hey, they got a bunch of time ran off the clock. So even though their man's died, the time is forever. The war is still happening, and it's mostly right now in favor a little bit more within Faded, even with the picks at hand. Squish goes in and loses his life, and at this point, Hype doesn't even care at this point at time either. 19 health and a dream to force, and that's exactly what happens to them. A force coming out, a late one, but still one that happens. It honestly looked like a 5 Squish typing corn. No, in the chat with so many zeros, with so many O's, man. And it's going to be more back in favor. Even though the points in favor of Satisfactory, time is more in favor of the likes of Faded and 17.
Yeah, I think Squish was able to get in behind and take a 1v1, which I think was just unexpected. I think Satisfactory is really not expecting all these crazy 1v1 shows, but you can't let those 1v1s happen. Just you want to make sure you ensure 2v1s if you want to, you know, even if you think you have better DM, it's always better to just take those 2v1 fights. As, Satisfactory is trying to hold off this point. Very low players on the side of Faded. Draconic very low, many low players, although XP Man is low and is going to have to back up for help. But so many low players that, oh, never mind, Faded recaps the point, and now there's picks, both scouts down in for Faded, and so now Satisfactory really has the incentive now to get aggressive. They have some time on the point, but they want to get aggressive now. This is where you want to use your soldier bombs.
What I'm seeing now, nice gameplay. Satisfactory went ahead and got the point back right immediately from Faded. Both teams have Uber. Cosmo actually goes ahead and gets picked up by Draconic, but not before getting traded out by Ephion. Very good trades going out. Ooh, at this point, players are pretty even. 5-5. Faster time's going to be for Draconic, but they don't have the point as well. We're seeing Zanza went ahead and get some nice damage. Almost Corn Sauce, almost losing his life. 25 HP. Ephion losing his life to step. And a bomb coming out from the side of Finn is going to go ahead and try to do some damage, draw some eyes, but ultimately he is going to lose his life within it. Squish on a little bit of a longer respawn, and the point is still in favor of Satisfactory. Now, ooh, big pipe on the Cosmo, denying the height of any kind, has to make him retreat and get a point, which is going to lead actually Steb, Hype, and more to solidify that point capture. Nice little denial coming through it, and just so we're seeing it too, both teams realistically do have time to get Uber if they are going to continue to go back for the point left and right. Finn at low health, not before Cosmo loses the fight to Draconic and is going to lose his life as well, still behind, causing chaos. Ephion catching his life to Finn. A nice, perfect pick when you're trying to re-fight for this point. Draconic might have lost his life, but as long as we see Finn, ooh, not lose his as well. No soldiers to contest. XP is dead, and at this point, strategically, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright if you're a Faded fan, because even though they lost their mans, they got their mans in the same setting. And we're going to another mid. Soldiers played solid there from Faded coming out M17.
Oh yeah, Draconic was making some huge plays, just getting so aggressive, and Satisfactory had no answer for it whatsoever. He was just consistently either aggressive in that house, preventing the initial push, or pushing through himself when Cosmo wasn't ready to deal with it. So you gotta be careful about that. You gotta make sure you're ready for those soldier shows. You can't let yourself be too caught off guard. Steb does get the long range kill onto Ephion. That's pretty much gonna be a team fight one. Although actually, never mind, excuse me as I say that, there's 4 dead on the side of Satisfactory. They're gonna back up. They did get 1 kill, but 1 kill is definitely not enough. Squish is also looking in spawn, maybe looking to prevent some crit heals, but is just going to back up with the rest of his team. There is a soldier still dead. Finn is still dead, which means, Satisfactory should be able to break through this hole because there's no extra soldier. Gotta find the weak point, though. And Draconic is just going in aggressive, and everyone on Satisfactory was on the right side, but they did manage to catch Dragonic this time. But it is even Ubers. Cosmo goes down, and it's still 5-on-5. They gotta really figure out how to break through this hole.
And it looks like that's going to be the case with Plat trying to be one of the doors. Squish, catching a fade like no other step. Low as can go. Bro is playing. Oh my God, bro is going. How low can you go with this health with hype? 2 HP. And then you at 30, he's alive, but the Uber does have to come out, and the Uber's actually going to be better for Satisfactory, as that Uber would look like it was just trying to go ahead and make some space. It's still going to be a worse Uber, but with hype being the only one dying, that might be pretty good, but it actually might be less, because Finn might be the next one to die first, but not before he gets the pack. It still stays alive with 58 HP. How's that allowed? But it's okay. Satisfactory did get the point. They did get some time in. Oh my gosh, a Cosmo direct to Uber. Oh, a Cosmo direct bomb getting right on the Squish. He's getting tired. He said, I'm sick of your shit. I don't want this anymore. I'm sick of having to stand idly by. No more. I'm the initiator. I'm Mr. 007. I am James Bond.
And that forced Faded to back up. They are trying to re-push through this. They did clear the stickies, and they're just going to completely readjust. There is still Cosmo, who still isn't there, which means Faded does find the lead spot, and they are able to get through. Although Ephion gets a kill into Squish, but there's 2 kills in favor of Satisfactory, but no force comes out, and Finn gets a spoon kill onto Cosmo, who was bombing in on his medic. That's interesting, but now it's even Ubers, but Satisfactory is down 3. They've got to wait for their players before they can refight. They did mostly manage to even out the time, however, the other team does have point, and they are slowly wearing down those times. Big shot onto Finn is going to get cleaned up. Very nice from Robo, and that's going to allow Satisfactory to pressure here with the player advantage.
Just even with the player advantage, Finn is still doing his job of drawing eyes, making people look at him, making people look back so his team can go ahead and try to pinch. But when you have no pincher, no initiator, no belly, no poke, no, oh my, Krissy, okay, I thought he got 2 pipe. That was crazy, it was a sticky kill, but hey, Pick's actually on favor of Satisfactory with the better Uber too. Do they chase with it? That's going to be imperative. Do they chase and land on the plant? Cosmo making some face. No more stand. Oh, but he's dead. Cosmo loses his life as well. Oh, and hype looks like he's all about the hype. He want to take this fight, but oh, it's just like the hype. Oh, just like the hype. It all got to die down sooner or later. Time going back right on the clock. Satisfactory doing a great job of contesting for the point, but solidifying and staying and holding for this point seems to be something that they're still having trouble with. But with both teams necessarily being even, and we actually see the combo coming out from the side of Faded. Go ahead, make him on a plant. Squish is just catching these like he's catching all the fireworks for 4th of July. Draconic losing his life to Zanza, and it turns it into a 4v6, more in favor of Satisfactory, as we're seeing Cosmo doing a nice job now, playing his life, doesn't want to take the house fight without a buff, without some type of team pressure. Every time he's trying to take that fight, he has lost in some way, shape, or form. But as we currently are slowly but surely seeing the likes of Satisfactory trying to go ahead and make some space on the point, want to fight. Uber does come out, and it looks like it's going to be more in favor of Faded. Post-fight has to be imperative here. If that's going to go ahead and keep the units alive, that's going to be the case, and we are actually going to see Faded get this point as well. M17 will start to run down the clock with a refight still happening for the side of Satisfactory. Doesn't want to lose the fight. Hype losing his life as well. Step up in the air, disconnected from the main fight, but teams are going to take their time, try to, just as I said, no they're not, they want to fight. Step is fighting with less than 100 HP, and a pause is going to be the first thing that happens, and Cosmo is paused at, oh my gosh, a perfect moment, M17.
He is about to rocket down onto Squid, I would assume. But yeah, this is a 1-player advantage here for the side of Satisfactory, so I think what's going to happen is they're going to be able to continue to win this fight. Although, one thing that's really important to note here is that Faded is really good at recapping the point, and then they quickly recap those the point, which is, while it does cap fast on Bagel, like they're able to cap it and sneak it under Satisfactory's noses so often that it's kind of been losing Satisfactory a lot of time. But the downside of doing that is you also give up a lot of that house control, and like put all your players on point, which is something that Satisfactory hasn't really been able to punish yet. I think they're really kind of scared of the soldiers doing really well on the side of Faded, so they really got to be a little bit more coordinated, I'd say, for Satisfactory. And Faded, I mean, they're kind of winning, so I guess I would say, keep it up, but be careful about letting yourself get too clumped up.
One thing that I am definitely seeing more so from the likes of both teams is that I like seeing Faded take a lot of these aggressive holds or a lot of these aggressive plays, especially when they don't think it's going to work in their favor. They just do it. They just kind of initiate where they need to initiate. And even if, like, say, if Dolphin tries to jump, he goes behind, he draws eyes. Yes, he dies for it, or yes, he's maybe draws back two people. But if anything, he mostly dies for it. But even in him dying for it, even in that small little window where he's got 3 or 4 people looking at him, that's where it really counts, because everyone else who's not looking at him, shoot. Anyone else that's not looking at him basically going to go ahead and press forward like a bulldozer, going ahead and eviscerating everything in its path. That's exactly what you're seeing, especially right now. But we don't know the reason why there is a pause. I can tell you that I haven't been messaged. There's a chance that underscore might have been messaged. It might be player. It might be strategic. We don't really know. But I can go ahead and let you know that the way that Satisfactory is playing right now is definitely a little bit different from how they've played Koth beforehand. But what we are seeing from the likes of Faded is that in every turn, we're seeing players not getting punished for certain actions, or they're able to, I don't know how you feel M17, but they're able to make a lot more space in areas where they shouldn't be able to make space, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I completely feel like Draconic is just able to take too much space, and all that space in the left house, and just his presence means too many people have to keep constantly turning for him. Too many people have to constantly deal with him potentially flanking, or just even shooting you in the back, or just winning fights and catching you when you're trying to do your own house shove. And I think that's really what's been hurting Satisfactory so far. We'll see if they're able to clean that up after this pause ends. I don't know. I mean, considering the time left in the round, it might have been just a tactical pause from either team. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a technical pause either. Like it could anything could have happened. But yeah, they're just giving them too much space, to be honest, and you can't let them take all the space on the houses on this map, because if you take that house space, you can use it to flank and you can use it to fight point. And both of those are really important and can cause so much chaos that your team can honestly, like, oftentimes not handle it, because you can also just go behind. You don't always have to necessarily like go directly in when you go in on the flank.
Mm-mm. One thing too that is really nice to point out is that even though we are seeing, like, even if we take head-to-heads, for example, like when we take like player head-to-heads and what I'm seeing more and what I'm seeing less, I'm definitely seeing the likes of Satisfactory Soldiers take more space when it's weird to kind of say how they're both playing in synergy. It really just seems, even if we're not immediately sending someone back, it seems like we're trying to do the play where we're pretty much just spamming for the majority. More, I'd say, a little bit more on Cosmo side, where we'll take the initiative. We'll try to actually, just as I say that, we're actually back in the game. We're actually back in the game as I say that just as well. But hey, looking at it, Finn's actually going to be one of the first to die within it as well. He's going to be put on the respawner. It turns this into a 5v6, but just what I'm seeing right now, we're not really seeing, oh, in my head, just like, in my game crash.
Yeah, well, we still have about 30-second time advantage, although, excuse me, Faded does recap the point. Corn Sauce does get that one kill onto All Hype, which is going to help, but they're still down 2 players. They got to be very careful. And they do only have a 20-second time advantage, although Evian is already coming in trying to fight as the 2 spawners come in. Corn Sauce getting some time off the point. Draconic through the house is going to take a fight onto Cosmo, and I think he is barely going to win it at 24 HP. Here comes the aggressive looper from the side of Faded, and they counter use, but Evian gets dropped. That's a huge death, and that might potentially mean a lost fight here for the side of Satisfactory. They do recap the point, but you got to be very careful, as Faded is already getting very aggressive. And there's another kill onto Corn Sauce, and they just have all the space. Their combo is in on XB Man. XB Man gets the kill and somehow lives. Oh my goodness, what is happening? But the kills are still favoring the side of, Faded, and they only have 10 seconds on the point, which means Satisfactory has to fight, and Draconic wins the stick fight on Robo. And it's just 1 second left. Nobody's able to get to the point in time. That is 3-0 in favor of Faded, and it looks like it was a tactical pause.
I will say that in that notion, so look, yes, it definitely was a tactical pause. What's going to be really interesting going into this year is that, you know, this is a 3-0. This is a strong 3-0, and it looks like Faded is extremely comfortable on Bagel in terms of everything that we're seeing outpoured into action here, right? But what Satisfactory pretty much needs to do, we need to step up a little bit more of these aggressions, these selective picks, and this overextending that we're seeing a little bit too more from the side of Sat 6s. If they can clean that up, then there's a chance for sure. But, you know, as we're doing that same kind of mid, going a little back and forth along that line, no one's really trading a huge amount of damage. As I said, Squish, less than 10 HP, almost lost his life, but is actually going to continue living kind of wild. Froze at 50 HP and didn't get selected. He did not get weakest link. Oh, but he did just at this point, but that was okay. He got caught off guard. He took too much damage. It happens. It happens. Both teams are going to get Uber. We are going to see Sat 6s be the first to go ahead and cap this point for the potentially last round along that line. Both teams still kind of rocking with their Uber, and we are seeing Faded go ahead and bully the point, but not before Corn Sauce is going ahead and doing some slight tango, as we're just kind of see. We also actually see Rebel Serrano in the house denying all kinds of point, have to use the Uber. Ooh, but we really didn't have to, as we are going to see Sat 6 is going to head and utilize the Uber, and it's better for them. Cosmo does get picked within that entire trade happening, making the player ad better for the likes of fadedthanaho in a recapture M17. A strong start, a slight strong for Sat 6s, but Faded, just know with the pick on Robo Serrano as well from Squish is going to solidify the point capture and potentially add, depending on how this goes with Draconic, get the kill on the counter. He's going crazy! He's getting 3 picks, he's collecting all these kills like he's eating dinner. He just ordered the 4 for 4 from Wendy's.
Yeah, and Cosmo just keeps getting destroyed by this shove on the right, and I think he, you know, one thing you can also use is, remember, there's another angle you can come in on that shove. XP Man did get low, so he had to back out and cause the entire thing to fight, although Satisfactory is trying to break through, but there's so much spam here, and they're just not getting enough support for the rest of their team. Squish very low, I think is going to get picked off by Corn Sauce, which is finally another trade there, but here comes the aggressive Uber from the side of Faded, although XP Man just got Uber in time, so there is a repop. However, Epion is demo. It's really tough to chase when you're on demo on Cough. It's something you have to be careful of, and the kills are definitely favoring the side of Faded. Draconic is still alive back here. Does finally go down to Epion, but this whole time, Faded still had the point, which means they are getting so much time off that clock. XP Man is low, is going to have to play back in his own main. He actually gets both by Jayu from across the map. Oh no, Epion goes down as well, and Corn Sauce is going to go down. Zanza does get 1 kill, Robo gets another, and it looks like the kills are actually going to be favoring the side of Satisfactory. They're able to clean everything up, but smartly, Jayu has worked his way out to his own spawn, which means he's going to be able to preserve that 50 Uber ad, and even though Satisfactory did recap the point, they are down a full minute.
Yo, Ju, if you watch this back, I'm sorry, Gangsta, I wasn't familiar with your play. I saw that little surf, I saw that moon shoes. I wasn't familiar with that kind of play. You nice with it. Okay, I like what I saw. What I am also seeing is that we are going to see ad from the side of Faded. Can turn this into an aggressive Uber if they want to, but from the way that XP is playing, it looks like we're going to most likely see a setup for a 4-man here come out from the side of Satisfactory. We see XP not really showing his life, kind of going ahead and slowly but surely buffing his players, kind of playing more by main, which, like I said, they're going ahead and drowning that some time, and we're trying to see it, but the way they're playing right now, they actually have XP out. They're not even trying to go for a 4-man. The Uber does come out. We're going to go ahead and retreat. Epion is going to go ahead and be one of the first to die within this Uber as well. Is Robo next? And it exactly is to Squish and Ju. The Uber catches 2, and that's all that's going to be rope. But even with that, it's still a strong 2 picks, as we are slowly but surely trying to see Sat 6s play right on plat. But speaking of that, Uber comes out from main, seeing if we can catch Ju, the double scout Uber, going right into the lobby. Ju gets caught, but have to go ahead and secret mission this right out. We see Trev going ahead and losing his life XP at 84 HP. It's going to be one of the few to go ahead and live. The Connie in the head, trying to get that 3-pointer with everybody else right onto XP, and that's going to be all she wrote for the XP on the side of Sat 6s, solidifying Uber ad, if anything, a slight with hype, getting the revenge kill onto Corn Sauce at 17.
Oh yeah, and it's just 10 seconds left on the clock for the side of Faded. I think they're going to be able to refight on the side of Satisfactory, but it's going to be tough because it's just Zanza here who does get shot away quickly. They did get some time, but not enough. Zanza does go down to Draconic. Robo does have a lot of house space here, which is going to maybe help, but there's no scouts to really help cap. Finally, Corn Sauce is here. He's going to get some cap time, but you still are down a player, as All Hype is respawning, so this is going to be a difficult situation. They did finally cap, but that is going to be Robo going down, which is a 5 versus 6. Okay, Squish taunting, all hype trades that kill out there. And now it's a 3 versus 5, and this is looking absolutely brutal for the side of Satisfactory, and it looks like that's going to be it 4-0 on map 1 in favor of Satisfactory. All they need to do is win Clearcut, and they win Grand IM this season.
Now, coming into that was for Bagel, that was pretty dominant for Faded. You know, along that line, it's a complete 4-0 along that case. We did see a couple close rounds, but predominantly Faded kind of had everybody around the pinky finger, around the pinky toe, around the pinky in general, just straight pinky. Pinky! No brain. You feel it, but I will say that was some nice stuff coming out from both teams. We just definitely saw that Faded in the hole because they were able to be so aggro in places that they shouldn't be aggro or they weren't getting checked. We saw a lot of places getting unchecked, and in turn, explosions everywhere for the side of Faded M17.
Yeah, we are going to be going on to Clearcut shortly, but I really think I'm taking a peek at the logs, and I think it does make sense what I'm looking at. I think the biggest thing was that Xanta is a ringer, actually. So he's ringing for the side of Satisfactory, and I think it doesn't make sense what's going on then because there's a lot. It's clear that there's like miscoordination or something going on that flank because they're just like not really pushing together. It feels like they're never really ready to catch Draconic, who is definitely over aggressive in the 2v1s. And even if you have worse DM than the player, if they're going to be that aggressive, you definitely, as long as you have good enough coordination, you'll be able to catch them. But I think just the ringer is just messing up with the coordination of Cosmo and Zanza, and they're just not able to get or like stop Draconic from just being so aggressive in that right house. This time there isn't going to be any houses you have to watch. This is a lot more of a bomb focused map and making sure your soldiers are staying healthy, ready to get a lot of damage and still not die or do as much as they can with all their bombs. But, it's still going to be tough for them, I would say, even with the ringer.
I think what's going to be really important coming into it here is that, with Clearcut, we did see how Clearcut kind of unfolded even when they've reversed against 2.4. And guarantee it definitely was a hard fought against 2.4, but now they are going against a team that is very, very, very comfortable on a map or on just Koth maps in general. Bagel, we immediately saw exactly how everything was kind of working, especially where you look at logs and you see someone like Draconic where he went, I kid you not, y'all see on the screen, bro went 26-1. That as soldier, 26-1. Bro is
26 and 14.
26 and 14. I'm sorry. 26. I don't know where I'm seeing one. This is crazy. I'm
The
looking at
assist, the assist.
yeah. Oh my god, that looked crazy. That looked crazy. Oh my god. Still 26 and 14 on Soldier on Bagel is crazy to me. But along that line, I will go ahead and say that as we potentially, dude, I can't believe I messed that up. I'm old. I'm old, man. I'm so old, man. I can't believe it. But even as we are basically getting into that, we are seeing a team like Satisfactory, or excuse me, like Faded, play really dominant on the map, and especially in their kind of play style as well, with them just being unrelentlessly aggressive. It is working in their favor 10 times out of 10. Now, here's what's going to be important in M17. Do you think from how we saw Bagel, we're looking to see a repeat, especially from the soldiers, or do you think this could be a little turnaround? You think that it's both grand finals, both teams had to get the grand final somehow, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the results, and during the regular season, Satisfactory did beat the third and fourth place team on this map, and Fade did beat the third place team, and then another non-playoff team. So both of the teams are definitely competent on Clearcut, and I do think this will be a closer matchup than it was on Bagel, or at least I would hope. Don't know if I favor necessarily because of that whole ringer situation and the coordination, the miscoordination we saw on map one. I don't know if I necessarily can really give Satisfactory the potential advantage, but I do think this will be a lot closer than our first map, which was unfortunately a 4-0.
Hmm. I think it's going to be interesting, especially where we see Clearcut, where we saw, especially a lot of Bagel, especially where you saw Draconic and the Finn. We did see the likes of one of them was going behind, if one of them wasn't going behind, the other one was. And at least in this case, the one we saw behind most of the time was Finn. So I'm looking to see that same action again, at least in that case. I'm looking to see, honestly, I'm looking to see a couple things, right? I'm looking to see that same aggression come out from Faded, but from how Satisfactory, from the one game I saw them play Clearcut before, they have definitely had their moments of being aggressive or just taking advantage of a lot of like messed up plays that say 2.6 did or 2.4 did when we saw them play. I'm thinking it could be the same case coming into it. We see a lot more mistakes being seen on a map like Clearcut, and for a team like Sat Sixes to be able to pick up on it and try to change that into something more positive for them or something that will get them in converged rounds for them. Because the way that this is looking right now, if we see the likes of Faded get super aggressive as we were seeing with Bagel, it will all explode in the Sat Sixes faces. I'm not going to say anything in terms of like, just adapt and be better, but you are going to have to make some slight changes if you're going against a team like Faded, where they are just being aggressive and disrespecting you in more ways than one. Even if you don't see it immediately in certain plays, but it's obvious that there is being some slight disrespect being done, and they're not getting punished in terms of certain plays. But hey, it is what it is. You adapt, you reassign, you adjust. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I definitely know what you're saying. I wonder if we'll see any sniper. I don't know if we're gonna see any like crazy off classes, but on Clearcut, I think the real only off class you normally see is sniper. But we are going live. I don't know if there's like any sniper specifically on either of these teams, but we're gonna be live into this next map. If Faded wins this, they win IM this season, whereas Satisfactory has to win the next 3 maps in a row.
But that being said, too, mid does go ahead and start with some damage, some pressure being shown a little back and forth, but nothing insane. No one's going behind just as of yet. We're pretty much just collecting spam. As I say that, Cosmo taking an initiate fight from Draconic ground to the right roof stab at 61 HP and squish. Oh my god, at 2 HP. Someone heal this man. Give this man a bow already. He gets his bow and he's fine. We see Sat Sixes. We actually see Corn Sauce make a little bit of pressure. We see a soldier ring around the Rosie Robo right onto JU, but JU smooth with it. Smooth criminal Michael Jackson gonna dodge all that nonsense. Doesn't even want to deal with it, whatever the case may be. Seeing some point pressure, starts to go ahead. It will be displayed. Uber actually out first from the side of that. Fantastic. Uber's actually worse from the side. Faded is actually going to have the better Uber with Draconic high in the sky, looking to go ahead and convert something. Plays by the main door, but before Cosmo takes the fight, loses the fight.
Oh my goodness.
Draconic cleans up and kills Cosmo, but everybody else from the side, Sat Sixes, is alive and well, and we are going to see Faded be the first to capture this point, but not before Robo is also going to be one of the first to die, trying to make space for his team right out the door, but Draconic was on it, door guarded, rim guarded. Well, I don't really say however you want to say it, but it was nice. It was nice.
XP man looked like he was caught and just had a humongous escape there. Just absolutely very nice movement to keep his team in this round. Unfortunately, for the side of Satisfactory, they are still down a bit of time, but it's definitely not over. Only a little bit of a disadvantage here. But there are some low players, so Satisfactory is just going to have to wait. Epion is going to get shoved by Squish. There's 2 players in the hut now. This might be a little bit difficult for the side of Satisfactory. They do have Robo behind. Cosmo goes in, is going to get low. That's 2 players down, and now Satisfactory is just going to have to back up and wait for their players to spawn before they can refight. It's going to be even Ubers, but they're going to be down more, like probably a minute or more.
You know, with that being said as well, you know, this is what I'm talking about too, where Faded is basically just being aggro in multiple cases. They come through the door, they throw all kinds of damage to make them use first. They're doing some, they've been watching their demos. They've been watching their demos. Even when the Uber comes out, we have players spread out, not wanting to be within the trade whatsoever, understand the trade is happening, and then converges on one single target, the closest target imaginable. Where Corn Sauce actually takes a fight within the pit, but not before Draconic goes ahead and helps his man, but loses his life because of it, but he still helps his man. A nice pick from Zanza, creates an opening for the rest of his team. We see Holy Finn! We're bringing down his hammer right under the main, killing Epion and more. Now before JU and the rest of the code, some of the same vein as Cosmo versus Hype, but Hype on the shortstop, creating more Hype for his team, collecting 2 kills, and the 2 kills is going to be on both the soldiers from Sat Sixes, and still holding the point down, and getting the early spam on the Epion as they try to recontest for the point. A lot of good time being put down within the clock. Sat Sixes is going to take this time and be a little bit more with trying to go ahead and fight and secure the point, but they have a lot of time to shave off if they want a chance of making some rounds converge on the clear cut in 15.
Oh yeah, a lot of damage going into that scout and not Squish, but he's able to get himself out, always able to get so much cap time and still able to live. Damage is definitely favoring Satisfactory. Oh, now that I say that, humongous damage there. Like, I guess everybody caught like a pipe or something. As now they're going to have to back up and wait. Robo does go in onto Jay, who's very low, is going to get cleaned up, and that's a 5-on-4, although here comes the all-in from the side of Satisfactory. Hype very low is going to die, but Steb does get the med kill. Finn going to go down. Now it's a 4 versus 2 here. Corn Sauce and Draconic left. Draconic is going to go down. Steb just get out, and Steb wants to keep fighting this. Steb is insane. I think Steb's gonna get caught. Never mind. Steb gets a pipe kill onto Corn Sauce and actually gets out too.
My God, I was just Corn Sauce got out with the movement, but Steb was hungry. Steb was fiending. Steb wanted kills. Steb wanted kills. We are gonna see Fade go ahead and recapture this point as well. M17. What's an ad on the board? Roughly about a nice little 30% ad point, and they're comfy at this point in time. They don't really have to fight too much along that line. We are gonna see another refight happen. We might see a 4-man. We might just see him just take another dry fight. It's really up in the air going along that line. Some damage being confirmed. Hype to be one of the first ones to die. Turn this into a 5v6. More player after the side of Stats Lord. Ooh, Stat 6 players. Ooh, but a big robo bomb right under JU and the main discombobulating everybody within this map. The rest of the team coming forward and solidifying the kill on the JU and Switch. What you want to see if you're a Stat 6's player, if you're a fan, if you're a Sat 6's fan going into it. But now we are going to see, even though the team has full mad, we have to see him fight against the dreaded Clearcut 4-man. Do they bunker up? Do they hunker down? Will this be a force that gets turned into a bad situation? We'll have to see. We'll have to see the likes of what Faded has planned.
Yeah, well, Cosmo and Robo were spawners, so I was going to say this was going to be scary, but it looks like they just got here in time, although Faded did get through. XP-Man is bunkered in here, but Steb gets a kill into Zanza. Draconic is getting some really nice spam, and that's going to get the force, along with Finn going in behind. It looks like Steb is going to go down, and All Hype is going to go down as well. And it looks like they're going to get Finn here as well, maybe, although Finn is actually going to escape with his life at 70 health there. But not as preferable for Satisfactory as they probably would have liked, because Faded is already respawned and they're going to be getting healthy and pushing out soon. And Satisfactory does still have a chance in this round. They only have to hold for 30 seconds. And here comes the aggressive double bomb. Both shoulders going behind. Definitely a crazy play, and everybody on the side of Faded is just in this box in a huge cluster. JU is going to get forced. Robo gets a kill, and that is a much improved situation for Satisfactory there. Draconic goes in for a salvage, not able to get the kill. It's just 2 alive there from the side of Faded. They're going to get 2 spawners, and they're going to have to fight. There are 2 soldiers dead, and Steb is going to be able to bomb into the point, but he dies in the traps, and that is round 1 in favor of Satisfactory. That double bomb from Robo and Cosmo, and the misplay on the misplay from, Faded on how to counter that, that was definitely the deciding factor at the end of that round.
They went ahead and they took a playbook coming out of Faded. You know, they were in the do or die situation, and the soldier said, well, let's die. And that's exactly what you saw. You saw death and destruction in that little corner as another mid kind of opens up here. Both teams trading damage back and forth. A high bomb coming in from both ends with Cosmo actually with the man treads on with the rocket jumper. Okay, I like to see that. My man's was doing something. So experimental tech hops wild with the chat. XP actually catches a Faded pipe coming out from the side of Big Steb. He going ahead and stepping into the sunlight with these pipes though. Okay, I see you working, brother. I see what you playing. I see what you displaying on our screen. It's looking nice.
Yeah, and it is going to be a full Uber ad here for the side of Faded. They even have JU tucked away in the other team's bunker, which I don't know if Satisfactory is going to be ready for. Actually, seemingly everybody is set up on this right side here. It's just the traps on the left, which Cosmo does eat and is going to go down to, but that's going to allow JU enough time to back up here. Robo does not get a single point of damage onto him. Ephion couldn't get anything. Zanza is going to go down as well. Ephion might get caught here too. Draconic is trying to chase, does just decide to back out, and that's going to be a full minute in terms of time advantage for the side of Faded. And it's finally even Ubers, so Satisfactory can finally just take an even fight here.
Definitely have to try to make something happen if you're Satisfactory. Trying to make some of these more aggressive plays happen, but another potential 4-man is what I thought was going to happen. But it's really just been Robo just making room, dies for it, but he did make the space needed to go ahead and get his team in. Now, a trade-off would be the better situation coming in for Sat 6 is trying to refight this point, especially where they're already down one soldier. But as that's going to happen, initiate a forced trade actually does happen from the side of Faded. And even though we haven't seen the Uber being used, even though we haven't been seeing the Uber being used from Sat 6 yet, we finally do see it. But it's not really over. This is I say that it actually does kill Draconic. But everyone's being traded out in Epion and stabbing fire, just laying down the law. And they're collecting pits left and right, back and forth with a big old kaboom coming out from the side of Epion, not before losing his life to Hype. But XB did still live his life, and his name XB like the Scion, like the car, man. What you know about the Scion XB coming in it, but we are seeing some slight add on the board and a recapture in 17.
Yeah, but importantly, Satisfactory is down a full almost 2 minutes here. Zanza did get a kill on the all hype, which I think is going to help. Although Robo goes crazy aggressive, massive there, and an absolute nuke. It is just JU, and he is going to be able to get out to spawn. Cosmo not able to get there in time, but what a clump there. And I think maybe the soldier, one of the soldiers on the side of Faded was on shotgun there, but definitely a little bit of a clump. Yeah, Draconic is on shotgun now. Which is definitely something you got to be careful of on Clearcut. Epion gets the trap kill onto all hype, but Steb is alone. Steb is very low. He's going to back out, barely live at 17 HP, going to get healed up. And they're still building up Uber, but this is definitely much better for now for Satisfactory because they're able to buy a lot of time off the clock.
With that being said too, and time is definitely what they're going ahead and shaving off of. This is actually not looking too good for Fade coming immediately into it, but we are still trying to see some point. We are seeing some point being traded, a little bit of damage being traded back and forth. They don't let them get the point. Uber does go ahead and get utilized. A better Uber is going to be in the hands of Faded, but with that being said, Zanza and Epion are going to be some of the first few to die within this Uber trade. Now the post happens. As the post is happening, we're seeing players spread up, trying to escape. Cosmo is going to be one of the first to go ahead and get picked up. Corn Sauce wants to smoke. He wants this kill. He gets Draconic, and that's going to be his man's as he escapes for the better to reunite with his team. Now coming into it, Draconic is going to be now within the late fight, especially where they have Boy and Player at. But just as I say, the Hype and Squish are going to be some of the few with solidifying Player, but Draconic separating the man from the myth, from the combo, gonna solidify his man just before the rest of JU and Co get obliterated. Even though the team has died, he has reset the Ubers, and time is rolled down back on the clock. 1:40 versus 29 seconds. We have to see Sat 6 put this into overdrive if we want to see them put another round onto the board.
Yeah, Zanza was able to get multiple kills. Epion with the trap kill onto not Squish. That's going to help. Cosmo is behind, gets another kill onto JU. That's huge. And there's continued aggression here. Robo is going to go in and help, Epion get the kill on to Draconic. Cosmo did go down, but that med kill is going to be huge. That's going to secure them a big Uber advantage. It's already about 50%. And they only have 30 seconds extra that they have to delay. Although, as we say that, Cosmo is still dead. So this is the perfect time for Faded to take the fight right now while Cosmo is not here. And they are already coming in. An aggressive bomb from Fanny just decides to fade away, and Draconic goes in. He's actually going to go in behind. And not really any counter soldier aggression here from the side of Satisfactory. Draconic doing a bomb. He is going to go down, although he does get the force, and Faded actually gets the cap somehow. And Zanza did get a kill into All Hype, who's on a 4K, but the 3 players down for the side of, Faded is okay for them, because since the other team capped, they're going to get their spawners, and then they're going to have a big Uber ad that they're going to be able to use, and they have a full 30 seconds to break through this point, and they just got Uber now.
And they can go for kills too. This is an Uber where they definitely can go for kills. We tried the CMC to do the same thing in terms of the soldiers, try to catch some people late within it, but we did see that Faded went ahead and adapted that play was going to be within their arsenal. Within that, they still have a little bit of time to go ahead and get Uber, that being of Sat 6 is the strat, see if they could do anything. But if Faded really wanted to shoot, they could take this fight immediately into it. They have the players, they have the resources, especially with them trying to refight this point. They shouldn't let themselves be disrespected, especially with their player Hype getting killed all the way from the far right. But now before a right into the main door. Cosmo! Oh, coming in with a Mario gun on his fin, solidifying some type of kill and getting the point as well, trying to stop it for his team. And that's going to be the case then. A one-man
Zanza somehow lives for a long time there. Cosmo's still fighting. Steb is going to get bowed and come back in. 5 seconds left, and it's just going to be a salvage attempt here from the side of Faded. Finn does get into the cubby there, but there's a kill onto Squish. Finn very low, so is All Hype, and there goes All Hype as well. 3 down, a good counterbomb from Draconic, who is going to pick up 2, but Draconic picks up a 3rd, but does eventually go down, and that is going to be the round in favor of Satisfactory. Just with the starting out, they start out with a disadvantage, and they slowly get a few huge kills and work it back into their favor, and that's 2-0 in favor of Satisfactory.
Oh my goodness. We saw absolute destruction, absolute carnage in every way, shape, or form, and let me tell you, it was looking absolutely beautiful in every way, shape, or form. But just as we're saying that right here, what's also nice going to it, we are starting to see another mid fight going ahead and spawn out of nowhere M17, and let me tell you, it's looking nice, especially because Sat6 has went ahead and solidified 2-0 on the board. Faded in a pickle, if I've ever seen one, with some point pressure and some damage being laid out. More in favor a little bit more in terms of Faded, but you do see Robo trying to make some room, goes ahead and loses his life before it gets the pick up. It's going to happen when you basically do a 3-point on the point, along with Cosmo trying to go ahead and initiate something. Squish going ahead and get picked up by Epion with these nice little pipes. We do see Draconic trying to go ahead and make something happen, but instead getting picked up right by Corn Sauce. Solidified, a nice pick. I saw his brain work. He had that target selection in the back of his hand. That's what you like to see. Sat6 did go ahead and get the point as well. We are trying to see a little bit of Faded trying to fight back for the point slowly but steadily, but they're going to wait for the spawners. They're going to chill out, and they're going to wait and get these heals and then recontest the point.
Yeah, and it is, though, still a 30-second time advantage here about for the side of Satisfactory. Draconic does go behind, and he is in the main, although Epion does get a drop onto Ju. Oh, no. Draconic is still behind. He's going to get the kill with the Corn Sauce, which is going to help. But Zanza and Cosmo are both going to get kills. The all-in comes in from the side to Faded, but it's just Finn left alive. He's going to go down to fall damage shortly, and XB Man with a nice live on 34 HP there, and that's a full minute and full Uber advantage this time for the side of Satisfactory. Big lead so far in this round.
One thing that's really nice that we're seeing too is we're starting to see Sat6s get a little bit more aggro and a little bit more of these plays. You know, they're taking fights that, there are some of the fights they are taking a little bit more aggressively, which I like to see. It's like this one. This is the one, for example, they go through the hut and they want to chase down this man like he need for speed. Most wanted, high pursuit, whatever you want to call it, coming into it. But hype, oh my God, Swiss with the footwork, just keeping everything alive. Did not die in any way, shape, or form. That XB might be a victim. Oh, and he's not a victim. He's actually protected by Corn Sauce and Cosmo throughout all that chaos. XB is kept alive by his teammates, his combo, his flame, his feng shui, everything that you want to call it, his peoples. But what's important is they still have the point. It doesn't matter if they got Uber ad, they still have the point. The objective time is what matters with 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock in 17.
Oh yeah, and Ju did manage to live, although he did drop earlier, but finally managed to live this time. As here's an aggressive bomb from Finn, not really going to get anything, he's just going to fade away. Draconic gets the kill onto Epion, and here comes the double soldier bomb from the side and Satisfactory. They do get the force onto Faded, onto Ju, and the rest of them are just going to back off, although Zanza's still here, I think just doing a little bit of spotting, but he's not really committing to anything. He's just waiting for his teammates to spawn, and they have a nice 1 minute 30-second time advantage that they are going to use to retake this short lead with their big Uber advantage. Although, as I say that, Draconic tries to do a big bomb, actually catches the skybox a little, so he has to back up and take some damage for that. And that's going to allow Satisfactory, I think, to get through these doors finally. They have to be careful of traps, of course, but they do finally walk out through this kill box door. Zanza is kind of low, so we'll see if he's really able to do much. And here comes the double soldier aggression from the side of Faded. And they do end up both dying, but they get the force onto Satisfactory, and Ju is trying to live, but there's no soldier to chase. Although, as I said, that Cosmo is behind, but he doesn't figure out where Ju is going to go. He does finally go down, and it's just All Hype and Squish alive. Corn Sauce and Zanza are going to take that 2v1 there, and that's going to allow them to keep their medic alive, and they still have a decent time advantage, and they're going to retake the point now, about 40 seconds, and about a 40% Uber head.
What we are seeing is a total 180 flip from how we saw Sat6's play on Bagel. a lot more dominant, a lot more confident in every way, shape, or form. They are here to play and they are here to stay hype. Being one of the first to die by a nice trap coming out from Effion, and with a initiation being used by Draconic, but not before he gets traded out by Cornsauce. Not solo trade out. JU catches some nice twofers from Robo, who went ahead and made a stand. Cosmo typing WTF Draconic question mark in the chat with Draconic typing I don't know, bro. Type I guess from Cosmo. We're seeing it live and imperative to them collecting and converging these rounds. Full Uber, a full belly, that might be a lie. They probably haven't eaten. TF2 players don't eat before their matches, but initiation being made by Draconic round to the height gets immediately pummeled down right into the ground, as we are currently seeing the rest of everybody else slowly but surely make their way. Step, Draconic, hype, and more losing their lives as it continues to go forward. As the Uber comes out, there's 2 seconds left on the clock, and they have to fight. We have to see a refight come out from Faded if they want the chance, but it's not going to be a chance. It's going to be a full wipe. It's going to be a number 2 in the restroom. It's going to be a full clean wipe coming out from the boys. You heard me. No, you heard me. You heard me, the underscore. You did hear me. I'm not stuttering. I'm not stuttering coming through it. We're seeing an entire 180 coming out from Sat 6s and 17, and it's looking good. It's looking good.
Yeah, it's looking a lot better, and this time I have to say, I think it looks like the med deaths are honestly the biggest thing. Jay has 11 med deaths, and XP-Man only has 5, and med is super important on Koth. You have to be very careful at letting your med die. I think it was pretty even on the last map, but this time it was clearly a big difference. Cosmo with the Fade Bomb, not going to commit. Robo does commit and actually gets the kill onto JU again. Massive kill there. Cosmo does bomb in and goes down, but with 2 players down, Satisfactory does have the med kill. They're going to have to back up, but XP-Man is not going to get out. Very nice bomb from Draconic, predicting where he's going to leave, and now it's the players of, Faded trying to get out after they chase the medic, and they're going to get cleaned up. Zanza getting a 3k there, and Satisfactory is going to retake the point, even though Faded did take it initially. And it's going to be an even Uber situation here, but it's going to be pretty even because, the players on the side of Faded are just spawning now. They're already working their way back in, and they just have to do a basic push because there's not really a stronghold set up.
A fade bomb that makes these soldiers think he's going to actually counter bomb Stallings. A little bit of time, not too much time. Finn was at 89 HP, but when he get his pack, he's healthy, he's cool. He don't got to worry about it like that. But we are seeing both soldiers do the initiation, the fade initiation, just trying to make some damage. And damage as we done. Jayu's going to go ahead and die along with Cosmo, turn this into a 5v6. It's going to be the combat players trying to go ahead and just on the XP, who's 57 HP from the back door. And that's going to be one of the first to go ahead and die, and it's being traded left and right, back and forth to Draconic, 118 health, but it loses with 8 HP. And the dream was to live and die onto the scouts, but he just died. The cleanup from both the scouts was phenomenal. Even though we are seeing a slight bit of ad coming out from the side of Faded, again, objective time is going to be what's more important. Coming in with it in a nice pick onto Squish as well. Effion is eating these people for breakfast. He's collecting trap kills like he's collecting dollar bills in his hand. That man got bands all up in his bowls, bruh. And just as we're saying, the two are looking at some ad 20% for the side of Faded, but initiations are being done left and right. Cosmo might lose his left with 3 HP left, and that's going to be the case coming into it. Point pressure coming in from the side of Faded. We do see Robo trying to make some space, but it's a solo bomb. Not a lot of space can be made, and Effion with the scouts trying to go ahead and cause some terror, cause some damage. Draconic going ahead, taking away their high control and bullying them and forcing them to leave as Faded goes ahead and gets the point capture. No one else has to die within it, but it's going to be even Ubers for this refight unfolding as well.
Yeah, it is, and it is still a full minute advantage here for Satisfactory, but they do have to break through this hold first. There isn't too much setup, and it looks like they're trying to do a very aggressive shove through here. They actually drop Corn Sauce, and they take an exchange while the enemy team has the point. Cosmo going to take some damage, require a flash, and that's going to mean that this fight has already favored the side of Faded, just because they have an extra player, and they're going to wait for Corn Sauce to respawn here. They're just chilling for now on the side of Satisfactory. Faded is more than willing to just let this time roll down even more. Step already setting up some traps, getting some spam going, hoping to hold this point for a little bit longer. Corn Sauce almost got caught by those traps. Got to be very careful. XP-Man did catch a lot of spam here, so he's going to have to be very careful. Here's the aggressive bomb going behind from Cosmo. Robo, I think, bait the bomb and then didn't go in, and Cosmo's coming right back in. Although JU is in a weird spot on this right side, but he's not anywhere caught. Although, as I say, that robot gets a huge damage, but players living on the side of Faded. And here comes the counter bomb from the soldiers of Faded. Trade happening there, and the picks are definitely favoring Faded here, 3 versus 2, and they keep their medic alive. And that's going to be a big win there for Faded, and it's going to pretty much even up this round here.
Squish is catching these pipes. He's eating Epion pipes, man. He's eating them, man. He's eating them. I'm seeing this man eat this thing like an Impossible Whopper. Why is someone eating that in public? I mean, it's crazy, but from what you're seeing right now, both teams still have Uber, just Uber in general. Both teams are even going through it. We do see both soldiers going ahead, taking advantage of their height. Just so we say that, it might be Draconic who loses his life as we see another initiation, but it doesn't go to where we're just seeing some people going ahead and run down the time, run down the damage, as we are starting to see slow capture time coming out from Sat 6s, and Uber trade comes out. It's going to be way better for the side of Sat 6s, as they can use this Uber to go for kills where they have a better Uber advantage, take advantage of the player space as well, while you have invulnerable players. Squish is dead, going to be one of the first 2 die by Cornslaws, along with Hype as well. No scouts coming into it on the Clearcut map, but it's okay. Both teams are going to have Uber. You lost your scouts, that's okay. You had a worse Uber, you took the fight. You know that if you are going to initiate that trade, that there is going to be some fall off, and that was the fall off. Now, Sat 6s has to do the best they can to solidify their hold on point, to solidify this win, but Faded, it's not over for them yet. Well, that's why it's 3-0. They can go ahead and initiate something in 17.
Oh yeah, and they already are getting pretty aggressive here. It's going to be about even on the time, although Robo does get a pick on for Draconic and stays alive. Finn does a bomb, gets a lot of damage onto Epion, juggles him up, and Epion somehow lives. And trade there in for both teams, and it's a 4-on-4 now, although, 5-on-4, and as I said, that Robo goes in for another bomb, does a lot of damage. Zanza does walk in, get the force onto JU, and gets a kill onto Finn while he's still safely retreating, and he's being saved by his med here, still has full Uber. This is a big advantage in this round for Satisfactory, as they're going to work their way through the hut. Draconic is going to get caught here. Now as Steph is aggressive here, they're going to use aggressively, kill Steph, and they are chasing for JU. He's going to get head rocketed, and there's Cosmo behind. He's not able to get the kill on JU somehow, but it's going to be definitely a tough fight for the side of Faded, although as I said that, they actually, Satisfactory delayed their spawns and let Faded spawns come up first, so since they also used their Uber and they didn't get much, this is going to be a pretty even last fight here in this last 10 seconds for the round.
It's going to definitely be even. They do have some slight ads to go ahead and work with it, and they could go ahead and get Uber depending on how long this fight holds out. Now, Satisfactory can use that as an advantage. Finn's going to be one of the first ones to die, so that's going to be one of the case. But before he gets traded along with Cornsauce as well, turning this into a 4v4 situation. No scouts were the side of Sat 6, but the damage, the soldier players can make this happen. Rubble coming out with Waddle. Stab losing his life. The Uber does come out. It's just Evian and XP. XP going ahead and serving the rocket. 0 seconds left on the clock. They do have to get under that point. They cannot leave it to die. They cannot leave it to die in terms of Faded, but it's going to be okay. We're going to see Faded going ahead and recapture the point. Full Uber ad trying to make a point. Well, of course, can't happen without your medic, but they have player and they can go ahead and work with this. All damage might be permanent for the side of blue, but they have nothing to lose. They're 3 up right now. They can go ahead and try some things, but Stab also said that he want to try some things. He want to go ahead and try putting him in the grave. He want to go ahead and lay him out to rest. R.I.P. Sat 6s for the round 4, because we in and we finna saw. You dig it. Oh my goodness.
That was a crazy situation. It looked like Faded were gonna kind of beef all the shots, catching Ephion and XP Man, and then Finn just comes in and drops XP Man out of nowhere, and that completely changes the entire trajectory of that ending fight there, because if Satisfactory has Uber there, they probably are gonna be able to win that round. There's an aggressive double bomb from the soldiers, this time with Satisfactory. JU does get juggled, and he is going to get 2 rocketed. Squish does get a kill onto Cosmo. Draconic did get the 2nd kill onto the soldier, but I think Satisfactory is okay with that. They have that Uber advantage now, and here comes the aggressive bomb from the soldiers of Faded, and they are collapsing in on XP Man, who is trying to live. He does get a nice start, and he's actually somehow completely kiting his getting out to spawn. Huge play from XP Man. Oh my goodness.
He lives! The man, myth, legend, he's alive! They're alive! Oh my god, how did they live? How did he live? That's crazy, how did they live? That's crazy.
was pretty insane. It is a 40% Uber ad now, and they have a player ad as well. So Satisfactory is getting aggressive. JU goes down again, and since Satisfactory capped the point, that means they're just going to be able to back this off and play the time and just start delaying it now. And they were down 20 seconds on the timer, but with that big full Uber ad and now them having the point, this is going to be okay for them. Although it looks like Faded is looking to do a 4-person sack. It looks like they still have presence here. They're still getting a position here. All Hype was ready to jump up on the side roof, and Finn does a bomb here. And here comes the aggressive shove from the side of Faded, and they are going to kick the force. They do lose 2 and 3, and they are going to lose Finn late to a late death. They did recap the point as well, which is maybe going to be interesting, and that forces a few seconds off the clock, but, excuse me, Satisfactory just recaps it. Robo hiding a little bit aggressive on this right side, trying to use Cosmo with a bait setup to try to distract him. Maybe don't have him look. And Robo is unspotted. He is going to go in on JU. He was not ready and gets killed. And that's a big play there from the side of Satisfactory. And that's going to keep their advantage in this round.
Robo does the thing where he had the shot. He was about to do the 3-pointer, the Steph Curry, and that's exactly what he did. He banged it every single time. Green light. That's exactly what we saw from Robo. We saw some detective work. Last time we saw that man play on the class, I'm pretty sure we saw that, bro. I'm pretty sure we saw that, bro, on scout for this team. So that's kind of interesting to see how it's kind of played out the way that it's played out. Now he's on Soldier, but hey, it is how it is. We see the Uber ad come from the side of Sat 6. We see some damage being outputted. We see Steph going ahead and being dominated by Epion and Zanza. But coming out, we see the Soldier Bomb trying to go ahead and stop something too. XP couldn't hold all the loads that he had in his hand. The greed from a man can only get so greedy. But where there is greed, there is fall off. Exactly what we saw. No Uber ad, but we are seeing the lights of them getting more aggressive. Squish actually down to Zanza. And Robo gets the pick on the step as well before losing his life as well. So even though they did lose their players, they went ahead and got 2 prime picks to slow down this push and delay even more time off the clock. They only need to cap once to win this map, but Faded has proven that they can absolutely come back as they are still 1 up on the board.
Yeah, it is still an advantage here, but Faded definitely still has a chance, but they need to make sure they don't let anything huge happen. They cannot let JU drop or get forced too early here. They are going to recap the point. Cosmo does do a fade bomb, and Robo is going to decide to commit. JU gets caught in a little bit right against the wall and is going to get forced. Zanza is going to go down as well, and Epion might get killed here. It looks like he's going to live on very low HP, but with that big Uber advantage now in favor of Satisfactory, they're looking in prime position to retake this round. They're just going to wait for their spawners, who are going to get up here shortly. They have a 70% Uber advantage that they are going to use to just work their way in, and if they can catch JU again, that would be massive for them, but I think JU needs to make sure he's playing in that main door so that he does not get caught to a crazy aggressive use.
From what we're seeing as well too, with the Uber at in their play, man, I'm trying to see them go for kills, man, or at least threaten the Uber at this point in time. As we are seeing, try for them to go for something. Instead, try to go for a little fake 4-man. No, real 4-man from Draconic hanging out from main, just throwing eyes, gets the pick on the XP, putting them at 21 HP. Forces him to back up another bomb. Oh, go for Draconic again, the drop again. Don't drop till you drop. A Cosmo getting the re-drop on the JU as well. He said, my man's dead. Your man's dead, and I'm finna capture the point when all my bros are back up so we can go ahead and run down this time. 1 minute and 22 seconds for Faded, but 40 seconds left onto the clock. If you are a Sat 6 fan, you might want to go crazy. Now, what I will go ahead and tell you too is that both teams are pretty even when it comes to these Ubers too. Still have a chance to get Uber, but the fight has to play out long enough for both teams to even try to get Uber here at M17.
Oh yeah, they only have 20 seconds left, so, excuse me, Faded has their work cut out for them, but they are going to start trying to refight here. They do get a scout low, which is going to help them to start, although Draconic bombs in, is going to get caught by Epion. They did get a lot of cap time, and gets the spoon kill onto Epion. Zanza does clean that kill up, the corn sauce going down means it's a 4-on-4, and Faded do have their demo alive, although they did recap the point, which means they are going to have later spawners, and I think that's what Satisfactory is playing towards. They're just chilling, spamming, waiting, and their spawners are going to get here first, and yeah, Vin is still down. He's just going to respawn now, and that's going to allow, especially with an even Uber situation, although as I say that, it looked like it was going to be scary, but smart play from Faded. They're going to take an aggressive Uber exchange to try to delay stuff, but Steb goes down to Zanza in the back lines, and that is going to cause this to be very difficult, and Satisfactory does recap the point. Only 5 seconds left. The kills are definitely favoring Satisfactory here. It's just Squish and Finn. Finn is the last damage dealing class alive, and that's a 4-1 on Clearcut in favor of Satisfactory Sixes players.
Satisfactory Sixers players have proven that it does not matter in any way, shape, or form what will happen when the odds are against you. You lock in. That's just how it is. That's how it will be. That's how it forever will be along that line. I'll tell you, going in along that case too, it has turned into something beautiful in every way, shape, or form. We saw Sat Sixes go from a play to where they were super aggressive. They wanted to get in. They wanted to do damage on the side of Bagel. We weren't seeing that be outputted, only to see Clearcut be an entire 180. We saw them take advantage of the same thing that they were doing against 2.4 before. They saw the mistakes, they took advantage of those mistakes, and they initiate on every mistake that they made to go ahead and make space for their team, but more importantly, to converge rounds. That was very good coming out from Sat 6.
Yeah, and even though XP Mid did have 3 drops there as opposed to 1 from JU, the 8 deaths more from JU also is going to be such a huge factor. So it maybe kind of evened up in the end there, but it was still 8 deaths is still quite a lot more, especially for only 2 drops. So definitely maybe not like maybe it evened up a little bit there, but I'd still say those med deaths are very important that you got to keep track of, and definitely what gave Satisfactory the advantage in those first 3 rounds. As we're going into map 3 of tonight's match, which is going to be Gullywash. This one was picked by Faded, and the last map, if we need it, is Process.
Going to it as well. One thing that's going to be interesting too is that Gubby Wash. Gubby Wash. We are going to Gubby Wash. Now, here's the thing that's imperative. Now, here's the thing that's important in M17. You've seen it. I've seen that. We've seen how both of these teams have played. We are not at Gullywash. You win mid really well, and you could take it to last and ring the bell. You feel it? Now, in terms of what you've seen from both players, what are some predictions from you? What is something you have kind of going along that line? At least in the case of this.
Well, I think we have to be really careful, or at least, excuse me, Satisfactory has to be really careful of Draconic again, just because they were having so many troubles dealing with him on the flank on Bagel that this is another map where if you can let your soldier get into a really good spot, they can potentially just completely win your team the entire fight. You know, got to make sure you're watching the drop down. Don't let yourself get caught out there. And I mean, not just drop down, but honestly, most of the points, there's a lot of closed in areas here where soldiers can be really effective. So you got to be careful about not letting yourself get caught in. I think that's Satisfactory's biggest goal. Whereas I think the best way for Faded to really handle things would be to, try to keep the chaos up, I think. Because I think they were being a lot more successful, at least on Bagel, when they kept the pressure up, the nonstop pressure.
What's really interesting too is that, I love to see a lot of the aggression that was coming out from the side of Sat Sixes. But more importantly, what I really like to see too is that I like seeing the synergy that both these teams kind of have for their soldiers. You have this mix of Draconic with Finn where they choose to be aggro rather sometimes to most of the time. Now, I'd say if I put that on a scale, that'd be like 70-30, but it's always at the times where he's aggro. I will say that I always looked at it and I went, you know what, that's valid. I don't think there's anything too silly about what he's doing in that case. Kind of the same kind of manner when I see Cosmo and Robo, I see a lot of one person likes to do kind of these fade plays. I see one person who wants to just initiate and commit in any means possible. But one thing that I see done better for the side of Faded M17 than I don't see from Sat 6 is that when an initiation happens from the side of Faded, there's usually the other player or the team to go ahead and help them back it up. Whereas what I see from Sat 6, I'm seeing that initiation being displayed, but a lot of times I'm not seeing the support of the team kind of behind it. No, that could be very much a miscommunication kind of error, but it is something I'm picking up more on the more I'm seeing both of these teams kind of play the way that they are.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they were kind of maybe even just getting like salvaged by excuse me, Satisfactory was kind of just getting saved by the fact that Robo was constantly catching Ju in like against walls and on corners, and was constantly able to then just secure the two rocket kill, which is something you really want to avoid as medic. You do not want to be playing close to those walls because if you get juggled onto a wall, it's a very free shot for that soldier to get the second rocket off. Um, so I wonder if we're going to see any adjustment this time, and just you got to make sure Ju is a lot safer for the side of Faded. And yeah, Satisfactory definitely needs to support the aggression because when your soldiers get aggressive, normally the rest of the team is pretty distracted. So that should allow your scouts and your demo to kind of get in, walk forward, get some damage done, get some clean up those kills.
Mm. One thing that's gonna be important too is that if these kills can get converged, now that we're seeing on the board, when you look at the maps too, because now with the upper bracket advantage, we're still at 2-0 for the side of, excuse me, for the side of Faded. All they need to do is win one map, and they will be your IM Grand Champs. Now, from what we see from the side of Sat Sixes, though, we see a chance, a spark, something slowly but surely has been sparked right inside of all these players. Because even though they need to win two more to even make it a potential to grabbing the crown of I am grand finalist, they still have to put in the work. M17. If they can't do it on Gullywash, we will see it on process. The dominator, the neutral state of mind, the neutral play. If we see them take Gully Wash, we could see a process grand final. Kind of want to see it, but it's all about how Gully Wash kind of gets set up first.
Yeah, of course, we're never going to go to process if Faded just wins Gully Wash here. So, excuse me, Satisfactory definitely have to put up, and they can't let themselves get too burnt out either when they do, if they do win this map, because you still got to play process afterwards. It's a tough series. You're coming back from the losers brackets. You have that disadvantage, but um, on this map, since we saw no sniper on the last map, although that was Koth, but even still, I'm kind of surprised we didn't see any sniper from that team for any of those teams. But I think what that means there's probably not like a huge amount of sniper we're gonna see. I think we saw more spy. Honestly, I don't think we saw. Did we even see a single sniper there the entire time? Was it just spy?
We just saw what for Bagel?
I was gonna say for Clearcut or Bagel. I think for both of them we didn't see a single off class besides spy.
There was a spy. Yeah, there was a spy on Bagel, but we didn't see any off classes come out from Clearcut. And
Hmm.
it just kind of tells you that both teams were locked in. Maybe, maybe an off class could have been what they needed, but from how they were playing it and how it was being displayed, I don't know. They were locked in. No off classes needed when you have all six players strong, ready to go ahead and unleash fury on both teams. But what is it's just something you're gonna see here. And the clear cut off classing on clear cut really isn't the best decision in any way, shape, or form. It's kind of rough in most cases.
Yeah, it is. The only thing I've really seen that like honestly works is sniper, but that's even like a tough thing to sell because soldiers just have so much freedom to bomb. Whereas on Gullywash, I think sniper maybe has a couple of angles, and they're pretty good, I would say. You
Hmm.
definitely also have to be careful about soldiers spamming. There's a lot of very nice ways to prevent the snipers on this map from getting too aggressive, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more spy, honestly. But other than that, I do think, or at least I think it's going to be maybe a back and forth game. I hope it's not going to be one team rolling the other. I want this to be another close game before we get into that final map if we can. But we'll see. I'm curious as to what's going to happen. Based on that turnaround, I feel like I think I want to favor excuse me, Satisfactory here, but I would favor them like 3-2 here, I think, but I do think this is gonna be a close map.
Mm. I say that one thing that's going to be really interesting too to see how exactly. Oh, and for a second I thought everyone was about to join a different server. I was like, One thing I would like to see too is that it's Goalie Wash, right? We've seen Goalie Wash and play. We've played Goalie Wash many, many times. One thing that I would like to see is if Faded if Faded is going to take the same mentality that we have been seeing for a lot of these maps, especially now that we are off the no cost, we are now finally in 5 CP territory. There is no other 5 CP map if this goes to the last final map of the series. But we are seeing 5 CP, so we are going to see both of these teams kind of play a little bit different TF2. Not too much, but a little bit different of TF2 from what we've seen from Just Cause. Strategic, we're seeing some teams being a little bit more strategic, seeing some brain play at work, you know, making some plays happen in certain cases where you didn't see plays happen. But what I will say here is it's Gullywash. So it really is the map to where if you wipe on mid, you can get mid to lasted if you don't anticipate or prepare for the momentum that a team can have on this map. Now, what I will say that's going to be really interesting for the side of Sat Sixes is I am going to see how they are going to prepare for a lot of these pushes that we will see from Faded, especially because where momentum plays into a big factor from how we saw a little from Bagel, it can be a heavy deterrent in terms of trying to go ahead and overcome any obstacle. The obstacle being the aggression that we've seen. We saw it on Bagel, though, or not Bagel, Clearcut. We saw them fight against it. We saw them take those mistakes and factor into their own strategic planning. But I would like to see how it's going to unfold in some manner. Now, M17, another thing I got to ask you is MVP so far for both teams. Who do you feel has been kind of making the difference, making the change from how we've seen it?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would have said like I feel like I have to say Draconic on the side of Faded just because of he's able to get so much space on the first map. But on the second map, I think I'd have to say Zanza. He put up a pretty strong 42 and 14 on Scout on Flank Scout nonetheless, with like the least damage taken out of any of the everyone besides the medic, and he still did the third most damage. So I think right now it's Zanza for for the side of Satisfactory and Draconic for the side of Faded, but I don't know if things will change. I mean, considering these teams have been, just playing different on both these maps, I wouldn't be surprised if we see somebody else step up on this next map for either team, depending on who wins it.
Mm. So it's a little difficult for you. It's a little difficult, you think? You know
Why,
what I'm
you have a
saying?
prediction?
At least for this map, I feel from how we've seen it, I think if I'm looking at the side of, I don't know, man. I don't know. Even these, like, cause the logs. I'm gonna be real. I haven't been looking at these logs, man. I've just been looking at the pure damage, the pure carnage that's been shown to my eyes in the true 8K fashion that my eyes can see it in. Except fashion weird, but I say Draconic MVP for the side of Faded, and you know what? I say Effion. Maybe even XB. I don't know. This might be an XP kind of save everybody kind of map in 17. You never know.
Yeah, we are going into this first mid of map, I guess you can call it map 3, but remember, this is one map left and Faded win, although they do decide to roll out the other teams on the other team's side for this round. Zanza gets an early kill onto Allhype there. Finn is very low, he's on the ground, he is going to barely escape with his life, and, Faded has a lot of space, but they have no scouts healthy, and here comes the aggressive bombs from the side of Satisfactory, and they do completely wipe Faded.
God.
And they only lost one soldier there, which is a huge mid-win for them. Zanza already doing the reverse capping, and Effion and XP Man and Cornsauce are already in on last. They're trying to prevent a gun from going up, although Allhype is trying to put it up, but I think it is going to go down. Maybe, we'll see. It's very low. It is going to go down. Not going to be able to set it up fully. And that's a big Ubered for the side of Satisfactory, and they're going to be looking to push into laps here shortly.
Yeah, but that being said here too, even though with the last push going ahead and being some of the ones to go ahead and be upsetted now, we are seeing full ads for them to ready to go ahead and push in the last. So only off class we're going ahead and seeing is hype on heavy and squish on pyro. And depending on the door, if they can go ahead and predict exactly what door they're going to come from, this could be an absolute nice stuff. And it looks like they're going to take this from Shudder exactly where Squish is. They're not anticipating it. They are going to go ahead and get immediately stuffed by Squish. Squish is just stuffing this whole entire Uber right to the door. Oh, not before the reflex dodge from Serrano, which is going to lose his life to Zanza as well. And the heavy still alive, but the point being captured. Time. with no gun for them to really focus on that. Uber did go ahead and stuff many people through the door, but as they went ahead and got through the door and didn't focus on the players on the hut, they went straight for the objective and got their first immediate round, as people from the side of blue going ahead and throwing all kinds of stuff within the chat. But we do see 1-0 on the board, and right now we are seeing that the return of big Sat 6s could be the case in 17.
Yeah, XP Man does get low very early in the mid, so you have to be careful. Probably get a pack there. Excuse me, Finn did go up to drop down here. Big bomb from Draconic getting a nice shot into Evian, getting that kill there. And Robo is very low. He's gonna live. Cosmo is still alive here. He's gonna go down as, excuse me, Jayu is gonna live. It's 3 versus 3 now. Scouts and Medic on both team alive, and it's just gonna be a big 3-person fight. All Hype gets absolutely 2 shots from both Scouts at the same time, and now it's just Squish having to leave with his Medic, and they're gonna give up mid, and it's gonna be a mid win this time, again, for Satisfactory, although not a huge dominating one, a very close mid.
A close mid indeed. You know, we did see that it was actually looking a little bit more dominant for Faded, but the cleanup coming out from the side of Sat 6s kept them into the realm of Gullywash. Now, what's also going to be really important coming in here is that we are both now seeing the team trying to make some space through Big Door, and the even exchange looks like it's going to happen. Cosmo is going to get dropped within it, but the better Uber from the side of Sat 6s comes out, but it has to go ahead and try to go for kills, but because they weren't really ready to set up or anything, the Uber trade just kind of came out of nowhere. They aren't going to go for any type of re-kill. They ain't going to try to recontest, nothing along that line. But with Cosmo still being down, it does give the chance for Faded to go ahead and make some plays happen, especially now that we do see one soldier get through Draconic and Swish, who's actually out through the door as well. Collusion like JU from behind, getting hit back home. Oh, coming in 007, making it a secret. It's nothing to bro. He James Bond. He's saucing up. Call him the corn man, because he gonna give you cornmeal. And we are seeing immense ad coming out on the side of Sat 6s as well. 75% ad, and Finn is on Spy with hype on Engineer M17. This could be another last host definitive coming out from the side of Sat 6s, depending on how this is set up.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I think they were just miscoordinated because, Finn is in, does get bumped on Spy very low. The Pyro is helping to distract a bit, and Finn is going to be able to get out to spawn and switch off. And here comes the Uber from the side of Satisfactory. They do get the gun, and they do also get the Pyro, which is going to help. And a lot of low players as well. Cosmic and Draconic are going to trade, although Finn getting a lot of damage onto the soldiers, and that might be a potential hold here because All Hype is a heavy, very healthy on the point. It's just Evian and XP Man alive. Evian gets 2 kills, actually, never mind, he just wins it.
Evian, he does it again. Instead of the last hold, he does the last push, and he kills the heavy, the soldier, and the medic. This man is being allowed to go crazy.
That was honestly a very intense round. I wonder if we'll see anything crazy here from this third mid. I would like to see Faded really increase the pressure and do something very aggressive. Finn is kind of in here on a weird spot on the ground. Cosmo with the fadeaway bomb. Finn does bomb onto Evian, but is going to go down. Robo on the side here taking a lot of space, and that's one player down for the side of Faded. Steb with a nice air fight from Cosmo, but Robo does clean up Steb, and that's a demo down. That means, I think, yeah, here comes the push in from the side of Satisfactory. Draconic was close to the board, does go down, and now it's just 3 up for Faded, and they are going to have to back out with their team. All Hype going down as well, and it's just JU and Squish.
Well, now the comms are locked in. Comms are locked in because they're getting angry. They want a meal. Corn sauce wanted the meal. Oh, but corn sauce is greed. His greed was the death. His greed got him killed. Oh, just let me see it. Oh, and everyone else is just feeding into the man, the myth that is the team of Faded. Faded in a hole, faded in a hole, faded in a hole, Yodi gang. Oh my God, it's 17. It's disaster, brother.
Absolutely, a full wipe here and a full Uber ad. Cosmo is on the light post, and we do have Zanza on Sniper in the forward spawn scoped up, so they're definitely looking for something here. And the rest of the team is just doing a little bit of distracting. Robo doing a fade bomb. Actually, no, he decides to commit. Robo goes down. Cosmo does go in. He doesn't even get the force. And the shot went off from Zanza, but quickly, Stev was able to get traps on the board. Effion does get a trap kill into all hype, which is going to help them hold this down. It's going to be evened out there, but it was a solid push there from the side of Faded as they did not lose their Uber ad, and they're going to be able to continue the pressure, although Zanza is back up in forwards on the sniper, which is very awkward, and you got to be careful about this whole situation. Draconic is trying to get out. He is going to get out, not get charged body shot, and then, you know, rocketed down by that soldier, but it's just going to be an even Uber situation here, and it's going to be on Faded to get something done.
Now, what that thing is, and now that you say that, yes, he has been on shotgun the entire time. Draconic has been on shotgun. Oh my god! No! The kill on the hype and Thofin is going to be some of the 2 picks that's going to go ahead and lead them into this mid without even having to use Uber along that line, forcing Stev to back up. Now he does get the pick on the corner slots. He's got Magnet, has Effion actually also dying as well with Stev getting the re-kill, but the Uber is going to actually be more in favor of Sat 6's. It doesn't look like any trade's going to happen. They're just going to go ahead, take this Uber, get the point, and go from there. They have the point they have to go ahead and work with it. So just as I say that, we actually do see the lights. Oh my god, Draconic going ahead and making space, getting the immediate revive. Squish and Hype going ahead and dying. Hold up, this whole fight turned into a shit fest for the Lions of Faded. And it looks like fadedthanaho Yodi gang is now going to be all ganged up, so Brody. JU catching a spoon coming out from Cosmo. I see you, Cosmo. Oh my god, it turned the situation was the good. It turned grave. The only ones that are being put in the grave is Faded on this map. And it was a B-Op market cutter at 17.
I think they were just like expecting that Faded was just expecting that Satisfactory wasn't going to be ready for them to push right back through. But then when they lost 3 and Finn also stayed alive for a while but did not get any kills at all, Faded did not get a single kill. That was just absolute disaster. And then Jay also going down is a really bad situation. There is a spy here, and he is going to get picked off by Zanza pretty quickly as the aggressive Uber comes in from the side of Satisfactory. Corn Sauce actually goes down after getting some cap time. It's a 4v4 here. This is going to be a little tough for the side of Satisfactory. They are going to lose their med as well. Zanza does get a lot of cap time. He's still alive somehow here on the point, but he is going to go down. And it's going to be a full wipe. Just Cosmo, who's still in water. And I don't think they realize Cosmo lagged out. Oh, no.
Zanza typing, Cosmo, no! In the chat, man. That's actually so sad. You had to play. Oh, little brother might have disconnected the internet. It's raps, bro. No, man. No, man. He's got 100 ping. It's rough out here in 17.
I think he's been having a couple of spiking issues, which is why he's been concerned. He is back up on this height here, and he is going to get a lot of damage on the Jays, which is going to get the force. And he does also get the kill into Squish, which is a huge trade there. And wait, Stev also bombed into the enemy team's choke, and it's going to go down to Robo. It is a 3 versus 3 now, and Satisfactory is going right back in. XP Man lives, and it's just 2 up for the side of Faded. They're going to have to back up, and they didn't even cap mid, so
that is crazy.
Satisfactory is just going to work their way into second here shortly. I think they are going to wait for spawners, and Uber looks like they're doing that. They're taking their time for now as their soldier is going to spawn, so here is Cosmo, and here comes their push, but wow, big hold there from Satisfactory.
What we are seeing again is roughly about 70 ad coming into this last push. They honestly right now should be getting information, trying to figure out what kind of off classes are set up so they can have a smooth push going through it. We do actually see Stev have some inner traps within Shutter, and we haven't seen this yet. We haven't seen them anticipate the traps within Shutter. Now they could go ahead and take it, but they take the Uber through river. They go immediately through water. Haven't gotten the gun yet. This is a water underground Sea Lab 2022 kind of Uber going ahead, fighting for point. It's all turning into a festival right onto the point with everybody just dying one-on-one because all the damage is being consolidated on the 1 point whatsoever, and it's all the explosive devices fighting on this 1 point, and there's no one that can do anything because red team, they killed JU. That's going to be the case. XB does get out with 10% ad on the dot, and it's going to go ahead and live with Robo as well, creating some slight ad, but they must build it if they want to go ahead and do something with it. It is not that much, especially trying to push in and make something happen.
Yeah, but Finn is hiding above choke. Do they know? Effion presets the stickies and then just doesn't check it. Oh my goodness, is he gonna get spotted out? He does get spotted right at the last second before XP was gonna come in. And so no kill there from Finn. And Finn being down might mean a potential attempted push here from the side of Satisfactory. They already have second. This might be the time that you pressure for something aggressive right now. Well, you do have a soldier advantage, although Step does have some aggressive traps in River, which I think is going to help out, and delaying enough time for Finn to respawn. And it's going to be even Ubers here, although I think maybe it was supposed to be a slight ad for the side of Satisfactory, but they don't realize that Faded built really well, and so they're going to counter you right as soon as Satisfactory comes in, and they have to back out now, and Faded is going to be looking to chase these kills. Epion very low is going to go down.
Epion dying is not the best move within that. Draconic build does go ahead and get picked off by Cosmo, and Cosmo is gonna most likely die within the situation. Yeah, Bash say he's gonna die within that situation along that line. Cosmo actually dropping a Draconic you suck within the chat, as well as the Uber is being built onto the side of Satisfactory 6 is still looking at 2 up on the clock right now, or 2-0 on the board right now in terms of points, with some Uber ad going ahead and making waves for them. They want to go ahead and stay within this fight too. They said, nah, let me go ahead and try to catch this man real quick though, as Robo tries to go in with a 3-pointer squish, going to go ahead and lose his life before getting traded up. Finn losing his life as well with the Epion, as we see JU trying to escape Draconic trying to go ahead and catch up, but the Uber ad is indefinite, and it's coming out of the rigger right from the chat. Uber hasn't come out yet. Uber does come out nice on the Epion as well, trying to go ahead and kill this Heavy, who's at 61 HP, and the Heavy is dead. Now we have Draconic onto the ring of 31 HP with Xander going ahead and dying and losing his life. Draconic losing his life as well, 55% Uber, and everyone is fighting for this point. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet, and it's going to be the Eaters. We're going to cool around the true Eaters, and it's going to be on the side of Faded. A last point that was looking devastational, but through the miracle of the players and target selection, kept themselves onto their feet, and with Uber ads solidified in their hand as well, they will go ahead and slowly but surely cap it, but you do.
Yep, one of them, there's a double spy from the players on the side of Satisfactory. They actually did get the kill onto the medic, excuse me, that was Robo who got the kill into JU, so maybe the double spy doesn't matter. They're trying to go for the back cap fight, but there's too many people left alive on last. Not going to get anything below. Zanza actually gets a kill instead, which is a little bit embarrassing for him, but XP Man going to back up with corn sauce there. Yeah, I think Satisfactory keeps going for this really aggressive point pressure, but because they got the first 2 rounds off of that, but this time Faded is just like completely ready. They know what Satisfactory is trying to do. And here comes the aggressive bomb in from Draconic, who absolutely gets an air shot deleted out of the server by Robo. And that's going to prompt the aggressive push, especially because there's only 10 seconds left. They have a player pick, they're working their way in, and they have an Uber ad, and they're going to use it. They need to make sure they get the high ground control, although they lose 2 players early, and they're going to lose another. They lose so many people. Just 1 second left, and that's going to be the round. It's going to stalemate out here. And XP Man, I think, is going to live. He actually is going to die. That might encourage the side of, what's it called? The side of Faded to just retake second, because now they have a big Uber advantage, a full Uber ad.
When you got Uber ad like that, there ain't no reason to let that thing reset, baby. You go ahead and you don't reset nothing. You go ahead and play that thing out. You play the ad and you do what you gotta do. You ain't know how to say, you heard. Yeah. We do see Sniper Zanza right in the forwards, but as he goes ahead and gets super pressured by Finn. Finn is not gonna let him out that door whatsoever. We see some traps being set up right by Epion onto the point. So some Uber ad if they want to go ahead and gas pedal this thing up like a 2006 Mitsubishi Galant with a V8 engine, you know, something slight, something scary, but we are still looking at some ad, roughly about 60% ad coming from the side of Faded. Now coming in here, they can use this if they want to. They go watch over these stickies. Oh my god! The stickies! No one sees the stickies. You had 2 people walk over it. No one goes see those motherfucking stickies, man. Oh my god, and Draconic's gonna go ahead and get the pick from Cornsauce as well along that line. That's gonna solidify the ad again for Satisfactory 6's players. But not before taking this initial fight, and River against Squish, and Squish is going to get squished with Stab at 37 HP. Never mind, he got bowed, but now we are seeing Satisfactory 6's players with the Uber edition coming right out the gate again in 17.
Yeah, and Finn is taunting here to try to get a spot up, but Zanza spots him out and gets the counter taunt. Big trap kill there and drop onto JU, and that's going to allow, Satisfactory to push in here with that big 70% Uber advantage. They do have the cap still, so it is going to take them some time, but they do have an extra player, and I don't think there's really a strong hold here from the side of Faded. They're not really prepared, I don't think, for the aggressive push from Big Door, although XP Man does get bombed, does not hit the Serpent, is going to get forced. Ephion chasing very aggressively, trying to get some kills. Squish does get a kill onto Cosmo, and no other kills are going to go in. Corn Sauce did go in, trying to get the kill onto the Medic, but nothing happens there. It's going to be a second cap soon, and we have a pause.
A pause of all pauses. I think this is a tack pause. If I had to guess. I think it's a tack pause. I will say too, from how both these teams are playing, I'm seeing some aggression. I'm seeing a lot more aggression again come out from the side of Satisfactory Sixes players, and I'm seeing a lot of players from Faded just kind of die in really unfortunate situations, or in situations where they traded their life for something, whether it was another kill or they traded it for a situation that their team can initiate on, from them just trying to make some type of entry in that case. But I'm not confident that they have it absolutely nailed down, especially with how much chaos they are allowing to ensue from a lot of these like transitional periods.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I wonder if they're going to be able to just. I'm very hesitant. I don't know if this is if this is a tactical pause. I don't know who's doing the tactical pause. Maybe, Faded just said enough is enough. We can't be, continuously getting like almost reverse swept, because they won Bagel 4-0 and they've only won one round since then, and we're already a map and a half later. So I don't know if that's them just saying, okay, we're sick of this delay. We can't let them get into our own head. I mean, even just taking a pause to get a mental breather, just try to get a reset, can potentially be huge, because a lot of this game is going to be mental, especially if you get, you can't let yourself get tilted, you can't get distracted by things like that. It's very easy to do.
That's definitely true. Going to it as well. I'd say if it is not a player pause, if it's not a tag pause, I think it's going to be on the side of Satisfactory Sixes. I think it could be a situation where it could be Cosmo, it could be one of their players had like a connection problem. We kind of saw that a little bit from last series too, where there was a little bit of connection problem going into it. But I will say it might be a Faded tag pause, and the only reason I say that is because, guarantee we see ad coming out from Faded. But what I'm thinking this happened, I think in the back cap happened. If I had to guess,
No.
I'm thinking the back cap happened. If I had to guess, I don't know how drastic the back cap will be, but I'm thinking something silly happened going into it. But we don't know unless we say it. But we're back into the game as soon as we said that to M17. So there's still some excitement, some action going on, especially with two players still being dead without being Corn Sauce and Cosmo going into it, man.
Yeah, Cosmo did say, I love the French in chat, but it doesn't look like there's a spy from him yet. It's just, although we do have Robo Serrano hiding in the little spot, and he's actually going to get a bomb onto Ju, does not get the kill. Cosmo goes down as well. So this is a 6 versus 4 for the side of Faded, so I'd be surprised if they lose. Well, Ephion does get a trap kill onto Squish, which is going to help hold things down. And they have two people on, or they have All Hype with the Sentry on last, so no back cap, but I'm really interested. So maybe it is just like a weird situation. Maybe they have like a drop or something, and then they, there's a pause from that. I'm curious to see what happens. There are stickies on close to the choke. I wonder if Faded is going to be ready for that. They have a lot of pressure coming through choke. None from really the other two doors, which is going to be very scary. And a huge Uber comes in early from the side of Faded. The counter Uber comes in from Satisfactory. They grab 2 kills, and they're going to continue to chase with their much better Uber.
Kill the Lord! It's death and destruction! And it's coming right from Satisfactory 6 players, because they feel satisfactory, and they have 6 players, and they're going straight to the last. Oh my god, with second point getting captured and them locking down the doors. It's a heavy and the 2 soldiers trying to see if they can escape out from the premises, and it's not going to be the case with 3-0 up on the board. Satisfactory, and it is indefinitely a team pause coming out from the side of fadedthanaho Yodi gang.
Yeah, it was definitely the Faded team pause, and it's 3-0. They are going to have to reverse the tide of stem the flow of this losing tide. We're going into this 4th mid here because there was no round reset. XP Man gets really low early on in the mid, which I think is maybe something that, you know, yeah, it looks like Finn is going to get aggressive off that. He is in the drop down. He is through very aggressive. Serrano gets a kill on the step. Zanza gets a kill onto Hype. All Hype does get the trade, but the kills are definitely still favoring the side of Satisfactory. Draconic and Finn get 2 picks though, and now they're kind of pincered in here. Finn is going to go down to Zanza, so it is a 3 versus 3, and I think with that, it is going to be a refight here from Faded, and they're going to go back in, although they do have to deal with a demo and a scout on the height, which is going to be annoying, and Robo comes in for the side and forces Faded out. So Hype is in and gets caught.
Hype was in. Bro got caught. It happens. It's unfortunate along that line. Finn does go ahead and meet his maker, the Zanza, who's on a 4K right now with 75 pick. But just as we're seeing going on, wait, step, Cosmo, wait. Hey, regardless of what, wait, and Squid, wait, what's going on? Why are people feeding? What's going on? Wait, the Uber went ahead and utilized her trade. Happening in lobby. It's actually better for Faded. But hold up, Cornsauce wants his man. He's gonna stop Steb with his body. And that's exactly what he's still alive! He's still alive with 10 HP! What's going on? What's going on at 17?
I am absolutely just confused, but Red is going to back up to their last. They are down 2, which might mean this is like the opportunity for Satisfactory to get something done, but they're not fast enough as the 2 spawners are going to be back here ready to hold down these doors. And Step getting some nice traps set up, and that's going to help this team lock these doors down. It is going to be even Ubers here, but neither team has Ubers, so we still have a few seconds before we'll probably see a sack. Although Finn gets a lot of damage and gets almost gets the kill into Epion, so he's got to back up. And I think that's going to mean that both teams are going to safely get Uber, and we're going to see some sort of aggressive pressure. It looks like they're just looking for opportunities. Zanza gets a kill into Squish, though. That's a big early kill into the Pyro. Although All Hype gets a kill into Cosmo, and Steb with a huge double kill with the trap, and that's going to force Satisfactory back. It's just Robo and XP Man.
Bro. Both teams have Uber, but we are going to see Faded kind of peek and prod out and go ahead and capture second. Now, if Faded want, or if Six's players wanted to, they can absolutely pop out and just capture. They could be like, you know what? Screw it. We can come refi if we really want to. It looks like that's exactly what we're doing. Through Big Door, we see Cornsauce going through Baby Door. Is met with a demo man who's watching Baby Door. Can't even go behind. Got some hurt players, have to reset. But again, something to go ahead and take him. Something to go ahead and know for the fact is we are still seeing Satisfactory 6 players be up 3-0, so they have plenty of time to knock down this clock. They can even let it go into overtime and just kind of play from there. Faded have to make some strides, make some plays to go ahead and try to put themselves on the board, especially with, oh my god, Cosmo dying with 3 HP as they went ahead and pressure them in. Along with Epion 2, this is the guy. Step from Big Door! Step from Big Door going ahead and hitting everybody with his big toe right in that big door with that big damage. Oh my god.
Big 3K and a drop there. Cornsauce does go back, and that's going to prompt the rest of the team to have to go back and stop this point. And Cornsauce is trying to delay, but it's not going to be enough. And at the same time, All Hype and Draconic both got the midpoint capture. Cosmo, a little bit over aggressive here, is going to get caught. And that's going to be 2 players down and a full Uber ad for the side of Faded. And now they're pushing into the enemy team second with an ad, and they'll probably have enough time to get their Uber or use their Uber advantage on last if they as long as they don't take too long getting into last here. Although Epion does have traps on the shutter, which you got to be careful of when you're walking into lobby. Though I think, yeah, it looks like the side of Faded is aware of those traps. They're getting healthy now. Still 60% Uber, so still a few seconds that are needed for the side of Satisfactory to get their Uber, and they do not have it yet. Although if they just are able to delay a few more seconds, then they'll get Uber. I don't know if they realize that it's Uber. Maybe they're playing it like it's evens. I think they maybe already gave up the Uber and just decided it is evens.
You know, with that happening as well, one thing that's going to be really important coming into it along that line is we are going to see a lot of, oh my goodness, we are actually seeing, even Ubers along that line, getting some Draconic, getting some information. We are sending someone through water. Who is the man's? Oh, we saw the man's through water. It's actually the scout. Hello, he's making his way. All Hype, trying to be all hype up in the water. XB, 23 HP. Oh my god. That man wants to die. A capture on the second as well. Both scouts captured. Going back out of water, trying to go ahead and get on the point. Dolphin making a distraction. XB just loves taking chip damage. It's his favorite thing ever. So trying to go ahead and get this gun as Cornstalk still has it up. While the gun's up, it's going to make it hard. Both the scouts again do the same thing. Going to water, going ahead and pressuring this point where they don't have the people and they have to go ahead and use some resources. But Robo there is going to go ahead and pop it. And M17, we're basically just watching pressure cooker kind of unfold. Finn is back on his favorite class again. The spy class. We saw him. Spy debut, stab right onto the medic on the bagel can. He emulate the same thing. Finishing that with CP. And we have Zanza on Pyro.
So he's still trying to work his way in, slowly getting in. Make sure you don't get bumped. It's a very precarious situation. Here he gets bumped by Ephion on the point. They know about the spy. Very low. Does manage to escape on 8 HP, but I think Robo is hunting him down. He's caught in water here. He's gonna get out, maybe? He might get saved. It looks like he's gonna get bowed by his medic, which means he is gonna be able to go back in, but now that Satisfactory knows there's those spies, Zanza is just absolutely spraying with the pyro flames, and that is going to make it very difficult to get away with something like this.
Yeah, he basically needs a A1 distraction. He needs his team to make some kind of noise for him so he's able to sneak in and kind of take advantage of everything going on. With the gun being down, that's a very good start, especially as it's going to go ahead and get rebuilt going into it here. But he has to use this time, but he gets hit with a sticky, and they must know he's in secret. Yep, and we currently are seeing everybody look for him, but he made it all the way down through secret into water, and he's actually going to live and get another bow as we're still trying to make things work with open on spy.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if is this just gonna go on forever? Like, I feel like at a certain point you kind of just have to go for something. And he pumps into Zanza again, and this time he's gonna get chased into secret. Surely he's gonna go down. Finn does a huge wraparound, and he's in on XP and gets some damage, but does not get the kill. 2 down for the side of Faded, and they're just gonna be okay with backing up. They're gonna get their players on. I would assume, you know, normal classes, they might spawn a heavy. That would be something that is something you can do. You might have time to run your heavy in and take an Uber exchange. That is not what they're going to do, though. It's just going to be normal 2 scouts, 2 soldiers with a demo medic, and they're going to have to take an Uber exchange or something, unless it's going to, or else they're just going to let it reset. As they are, I think, looking to take this into river. It's tough to say. It looks like they're trying to maybe spam the gun down first. They're still trying to figure out what they really want to do, but All Hype has worked his way in through water.
Definitely trying to get some kind of pressure cook happening so we can get this gun. They're not really doing the thing where they're pressuring every single door. They're kind of just pressuring like a launch out, but the Uber does come out, especially with 10 seconds or excuse me, 15 seconds left on the clock, and the Uber is going to actually be better for the side of Faded, where they have player at as well. Post Uber goes ahead and happen. Evian collects 2 though, so this could actually be more in favor depending on how this fight is going to go on. But Evian, hold up, is trying to lock it down, but can't lock it down enough with 3 players left onto the point, and Faded is going to go ahead and get their first round on the board with 3 minutes and 15 seconds into the round time. It is Faded, then a Ho's legacy return, but it is still 3-1. Who is up right now? It's Satisfactory, Sixers players, and we haven't even hit overtime yet.
Yeah, and once we get to that overtime, it's first team to the next number of rounds plus 1. So if Satisfactory able to win 1 more round before that overtime happens, it's going to be first team to 5, which is a huge hill to climb. Cosmo with a big early bomb is going to go down without getting any kills. Finn does bomb in, gets some damage, is going to go down, and it's a 5 versus 4 in favor of Faded, and they're just going to slowly work their way forward after getting heals. Satisfactory just decides to back up smartly so they don't get caught. But they don't have any soldiers, which is going to make holding this a little bit awkward. They've actually full decided to not even really look at choke. They're kind of full decided that they're just going to look at big door, and there's nobody there for now, which is very lucky for them. But Evian does get a trap kill on Draconic as All Hype did come in on the flank, but just doing a little bit of pressure, and Cosmo is going in trying to fight All Hype here.
Just as we're seeing it ourselves as well, we are still seeing the likes. We're actually still seeing Sat Sixes trying to make some kind of stand along that line while both teams still kind of have Uber going into it. But one thing that's really imperative going into it is that even now that Faded has a round on the board, they really have to try to fight back some of these rounds. Oh, wait a second. Hold up. Double agent. Wait, is Double Agent Zanza, that was crazy. Double Agent Zanza was trying to go for a little something silly, a little something sneaky. No one saw him just in time. If he got onto the height, it could have been drastic. But I do have to see now the likes of Faded realistically try to push their way to converge a lot of these rounds. The main thing that's going to be imperative for them to converge a lot of these rounds is breaking through some of these stalemates, trying to make some room, try to do something, try to maybe even send something behind, but initially try to be more proactive than reactive here.
Yeah, here comes the aggressive bomb in. They are able to get the force onto XB Man, although the other Uber comes through from JU first, which means that XB Man's okay with using there. So it's just going to turn into an Uber exchange. Finn very low, but is going to get saved by All Hype and does get that kill there. Robo does get a double kill though onto Demo and Medic. Cornsauce gets a kill there. Squish does get one trade kill on the Soldier, but it's just Finn and Squish alive behind, trying to get the salvage onto XB Man. Finn is still in his own drop down, but I don't know if the enemy team is going to go through there. He is hiding there, and Satisfactory does have to cap mid first, and they don't deny the forward spawns, but Evian is on the forward spawns with traps. All Hype is not ready for it. He's going to go down, and Finn is coming up drop down a little bit late, unfortunately. He actually, never mind, he does just get in onto XP Man. Perfectly timed.
You know, just as we say that too, it's kind of the same thing we were looking at earlier where, you know, looking at Satisfactory Sixes players, or at least looking at Satisfactory Sixes players going ahead into it, you know, one thing that's really imperative, oh my gosh, I can't even speak. We see Faded have more ad, and even though we are seeing Faded have more Uber ad along the line, and now the clock officially hitting overtime, so now the first team to cap 2-4 will be the one who takes this map, whether it's Faded, whether it's Sat Sixes, we don't really know. But what we do know is Faded does have Uberad here to go ahead and work and mess with, to go ahead and bulldoze through any problem that goes that way. But the problem, the enemy team. And the thing is, they have to make a decision. Are they going to use through this? And no, Steph getting killed by Sansa on Sniper is not the way you want to start off with the ag.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Zanza's he's just decided, okay, I'm just gonna keep getting aggressive here. He's gonna start peeking through the big door. Is he going to get any kills? He's already scoping up, and that's gonna make the rest of Faded be very careful here, and that's gonna allow Satisfactory to take a bunch of space off of that. Espion gets a trap kill onto Finn. That's gonna allow Robo Serrano to go in behind into River, and I don't think Steb realizes that there's a player in River. Cosmo does trade with Draconic, but yep, Zanza does get the headshot onto All Hype, and there's a force, and it's just JU left alive. He drops everybody and has to get forced. He is going to try to leave, and he is maybe going to get out in time, but no, he's just going to have to live in secret. And there is the aggressive Uber from the side of Satisfactory, but they're able to get a couple of kills here. Zanza does get the kill onto Finn, gets the pan kill onto JU, and that's 4-1. Map 3 in favor of Satisfactory V6's players. We are going on to a final map of Process.
That's exactly what we're seeing, this process being displayed right onto the board in every way, shape, or form. We are going to the last map within the series, and I'm going to be real, I did not expect to go to the last map in the series the way that Bagel game was played out, but I have to say, Satisfactory Sixes players are probably ecstatic with the way that they had to fight tooth and nail to get back into this position. Bagel, it happens. It was the case. Clearcut, you went ahead and solidified your place in Clearcut. Gullywash, you went ahead and solidified your place in Gullywash. And now we go to the map, which is Process, the ultimate stalemate map. And there's a lot to go ahead and unfold M17, but you know, we'll look at these logs, take a little recap between Gully. But if you had to say, what are some exciting things going along that line here? What are some things that you've seen from both these teams now that you've like, yes, this is great. I like what I'm seeing from both teams.
I don't know. I mean, Faded really has to just change up the momentum, because Satisfactory, even with Cosmo lagging out a bit, has just completely turned this around. And Faded, I think, needs to, I don't know, like, they were 15-1 this season, so this is definitely so far an upset, and it is 2-2 in this series. Whoever wins this map wins IM for the season. So, either team can win, especially after those two map comebacks, but who knows? Maybe Process will be a little bit too normal, and Faded will just get very comfortable, or it could be another close map. I'm curious to see which way it goes. I don't know if we'll see anything too insane, though.
I mean, even though that we're seeing from one thing that I'm already seeing, like going into logs, is like, how would I put it? One thing that I'm basically seeing, at least from logs, at least in terms of Gullywash, from how we're seeing it, like Effion was putting up numbers. Effion was putting up numbers in terms of yamage. 343 DPM with a DTM of 243, followed by Steb that was still putting up numbers on Demo Man 317 with a 25 and 14 scoreline, but still the damage was being output, and the cleanup was definitely being shown more on the side of Sat Sixes than we were seeing on the side of, say, fadedthanaho. Now, what's going to be important too is its process. Process is one of the most, if anything, one of the most, excuse me, process is one of the most, if anything, one of the more stalemate-ish maps along that case. I'd say more stalemate than more of a stalemate than say a map like Metalworks. So I would be excited to see, especially because we had moments on Gullywash where they kind of were like stuck in a loop to kind of figure out exactly what to go along that line. But I will say that it is going to be exciting to see how both these teams kind of break some of these popular stalemate holds that we really see within process.
Yeah, and speaking of, there is a little bit of a situation on the. Just so you know, if you guys hadn't taken a peek, we are on the on the other stream. Fireside Cast One is in the main grand finals, and having a little bit of situation there. So we'll go into our map shortly, but hopefully, Jamal and I can get this handled while we're casting. But I think I'm gonna go see what's going on here, Jamal. I'll have to let you handle this for now.
Yeah, we pretty much are just going back and forth between it to see exactly what's kind of unfolding the way that it is. It's just how it is. It's grand. It's just how it is. It's just how it yeah, it's just how it is. It's just how it is. You can stop it. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. But along that line, as we're basically getting that handled in every way, shape, or form, we're trying to, we are still going to the last map. That map still being processed in that regard to see exactly what can unfold here. Now, again, I kind of mentioned that I'm excited to see how both of these teams kind of unfold whenever you do factor in a situation this aggressive. Or when I say this aggressive, excuse me, where you have both teams that went from one team playing pretty dominantly on one map to now Satisfactory Sixes players kind of taking the advantage or taking the stand to really adapt to all the plays that are being thrown at them from the side of Faded. Not every single play is being adapted though, because rounds are still being converged. It's not a roll, but I am seeing where Sat Sixes is still doing that one thing that they were good at, where if there was a mistake that the enemy team did, they at least attempt to punish it for them. If someone overfeeds, they try to punish that person who overfed and more. They try to collect and try to get a little greedy. We've seen some greed kind of be displayed where it's ruined entire pushes, stopped all types of momentum. We've seen it vice versa through Faded. I'd say a little bit more with Sat Sixes, but what's going to be really important is how both of these teams will how both of these teams will take into account a lot of the stalemates that are going to happen, because it's going to happen as process, and realistically try to take some of that aggression and push it forward. I'm excited to see what could exactly unfold in that manner. But I also would say it's going to get to a point to where I also will say it really is gonna get to a point to where a lot can get set up in different departments. So when I say that, especially when again coming back to process, one thing that's going to be one thing that's going to be a little silly coming in is, we've seen the team of Faded get a lot more aggro on a lot of these maps, and now they've kind of reverted more into trying to play this really slow kind of game, that to which it's getting them punished just because of the momentum that Sat Six is showing. However, Sat Six in a lot of these transitional phases that they are playing and trying to go forward with, you're seeing a lot of conflict kind of come out of nowhere in terms of, if chaos is going to happen, then we are going to see a team like Faded take advantage of said chaos and just utilize it in every regard and every direction whatsoever. Now, it's going to be tricky again, I keep mentioning how both teams are going to kind of take the approach of what to do in certain situation, and that's just from playing each other this entire season. I think both teams have a pretty good understanding, excuse me, of how they want to approach each other, especially on a map like this. But from how they've been kind of unfolding, how we kind of just saw that 5 CP, it really is. I mean, now it truly is anybody's game. Like, it truly is everybody's game along that line to see what exactly we could do in every way, shape, or form. But what I will say is that coming into it, though, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm gonna say it. I am seeing good things from Sat Sixes. They have momentum. The vibes are probably immaculate right now, M17. But what I am gonna say is, I would not be surprised if that momentum came to a halt on process. And one other thing. Oh, wait. Actually, wait. Oh my God. I thought my internet was dead for a second. But I will also say that it's also going to be. There's a lot to really factor in, especially because now it's process, and we are going to see a lot more off classes come out from the side of the case. We saw Thin Spy. I don't think we saw Zanza Sniper, and that's pretty much the majority of the off classes, besides classic engineer, classic pyro. But in terms of your more aggressive specialist, it's the same within sixes. I'm excited to see who else is gonna go ahead and take over the off-class mantle. I haven't seen any squish sniper. I haven't seen any hype sniper. So I'm kind of excited to see what exactly can unfold going into this here. But it's going to be really imperative to see it's going to be really imperative to see at least if you're Sat Sixes, how are you going to approach the aggression? If you're, for Faded, how are you going to approach the chaos that's being displayed right in front of you? You basically are feeling in full effect. You basically have to stop that. And if that doesn't get stopped, it's going to just turn into a buffet. And the only ones who are going to be eating good might be Sat 6, depending on how this play is going to unfold in all its entirety. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have no idea how this is going to go here because I was taking a peek at the previous results, and both teams won both their games against non-playoff teams on process, and they didn't play process once in playoffs. So this is the first time both of these teams in playoffs have played process. So I don't know if there's any. I mean, I would say like, oh, maybe there's some cool strats they have, but honestly, process is like the most known map. Like this is the map where it's all about, how disciplined are you, how well coordinated are you. This is the most played map, so you gotta know your stuff as a team. You gotta make sure you're playing together, not tilted, not make sure you're on the same page, and make sure you have your game plan down because you don't want to let yourselves get distracted by what the other team is doing, so that you get thrown off your own game plan. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm really curious to see what happens here.
I think for the most part, one thing that's going to be really exciting to see from how this is going to get displayed again is actually I think I've already said that along that line. It really is just anybody's game at this point. Both teams have proven that they definitely are they are grand finalists in every regard. I mean, we just saw Sat Sixes take a upper bracket 0-0 to a 2-2, with this being the absolute final map. This is the map of the map. Who wins this will be your grand finalist. They will be your sixes. I am intermediate, I am grand finalist. And CO personally is going to give you $1,000 each, $6,000 per player. Now, where did he get that money? I don't know. I don't ask questions. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? We'll go ahead and say he's gonna give Doctor underscore $2,000. So in total, we're looking at $8,000 that he's looking to pass out, and it's okay. He's got money like that. I don't know what he does, but he's got money like that, so he can go ahead and share some of that wealth. And you know what? Looster also will be getting $1,000 sign-on bonus. So realistically, it'll be $9,000. M17, you and I are only gonna get $1. He doesn't like us anymore.
Man, I was maybe even looking like for $1.50, or I don't know, whatever. Anyways, but we're going into this final map here, and we are live on this next first mid. Don't see any crazy like sniper to mid, thank goodness. I think that would have been a little too insane. But so for now, everything's just like pretty standard. I don't see any. I think Draconic is not on shotgun or anything like that. So it looks like everything's going to be normal as we're headed into this first mid of our final map process.
Final map, final time, final gameplay. As we are going to see both teams trying to take a somewhat rotational mid. Pipe going to be one of the first ones to die by Zanza. And hold up, the vibes might be too good for Sat6s because they went ahead and just approached that, got the kill on the Hype, and slowly encroached onto the players as they were leaving through choke. But it's not over. Cosmo went for the speed, and yeah, he feeling good. He feeling good after that one, ladies and gentlemen. He's ready. The vibes are good for Sat6s. They just got 2 rounds up. They're ready to play. As both teams are going to get Uber, we now enter the famous process, stability stalemate, pushing into second with even Ubers. Now they got to get kind of creative if they want to go ahead and stop some of these plays here, M17.
Yeah, it looks like for now, Faded is just more than content to sit back, but they are doing something a little bit interesting. I think their soldiers are very mobile. It looks like they want to aggressively bomb into wherever the enemy team is coming in. Here comes that bomb from Finn. He drops XP, man. Huge double rocket there. Just was not expecting it. All Hype does get a kill, and here comes the counter bomb from Robo Serrano that does get the fade or the force onto JU, but almost everyone on the side of Satisfactory 6's players just goes down, and it's just Cosmo and Effion. Effion is watching a trap. I don't see where this trap is exactly, but he's okay. He was watching it. He just decides to back up. He's setting new traps out now, and it's going to be a 20% Ugrad for the side of Faded, and they're also going to, I think, be able to push into second here. Effion's kind of alone. He does get support from his teammates, and actually Effion gets a trap kill onto Squish. Big kill there, and I think that's going to cancel the push of Faded. They're just going to back up and play their 20 Brad, maybe.
Just as we're seeing it too along that line, what's going to be really interesting is even though we're working with the side, Squish might be dead. We are still seeing Sat6s go ahead and pressure even with that one down, so they are getting proactive and trying to do something along it. But even with them trying to be proactive, Squish has come up on the sniper clash. We are seeing the first off clash that's not on Topin, and it's going to be Mr. Squish take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, Sniper is a very classic one. Right now he's just scoped up pretty passively in choke. This is, I mean, you do only have a few minutes, but I think he's just maybe looking for someone to over-aggressing to peak for now. But he is starting to work his way into choke. Do they know that there's a sniper? I don't think Satisfactory knows yet, but they're going to know soon. They definitely know now that that shot went out, and they are spamming choke heavily. Squish does take some damage, but is getting tanked by his medic, so he is fine for now. Here comes a bomb from Robo Serrano, but Squish has already left and is working his way into Sewer to take an aggressive peek here.
As he takes the fight from Sewer, trying to go ahead and get his force out. He is just trying to peek, but they don't want him to peek whatsoever. That's the life of Sniper. You got to try to go for an aggressive pick, maybe even a little solo dolo, maybe even, maybe almost even get caught with Corn Sauce actually going ahead and getting picked along with Cosmo too, so that actually opens up a lot of opportunity for the side of Feed. But, Robo Serrano, who was in Sewers, puts a stop to any Squish Sniper ever again before losing his life as well, turning this into a 3v5 in favor of Faded, as well as they are going to go ahead and claim second. But with that being said and solidified, it's actually, and that is going to be the case with the likes of Satisfactory 6's players having to stop last.
Yeah, and there's still, Squish is still on Sniper, but it wasn't even, I think it was just the pressure of the Sniper that got those first kills this time, so I wonder if that's going to be what happens again, or maybe Squish will come up huge, we'll see. Already Faded is trying to peek into lobby. With Squish, they do headshot Cosmo instantly. That's a big pick. That's going to allow a lot of space on this left side to be open. And that is exactly where Faded is already taking advantage. They kill Corn Sauce's gun very quickly. They do take a lot of spam from Effion, who has kind of trapped out Stead here and actually gets the force. But Effion is going to go down, and so is Corn Sauce. That's 2 huge picks, and there's going to have to be a reuse here from the side of Satisfactory.
The headshot coming out from Squish is going to solidify this post fight. Squish is activated! Squish is activated. He came in like a hitman, like Agent 47, and just popped in, locked and loaded, opera hand style omelet with cheese, please. No bacon. I am a little hungry. But realistically, coming through it, we are looking at the next mid coming into it, and it is going to be Faded, going to be the first on the board, turn this into a 1-0 M17.
Oh yeah, already into the second mid. I think Effion got a little low on the vault, so he's going to have to catch a bow, but nothing too unexpected for now, as both teams just taking their time for now. Finn getting a little bit aggressive, working his way into the enemy team IT, as here comes a big bomb from Draconic, massive damage, gets 2 kills and lives. All Hype gets a kill. Robo does get the salvage kill onto Ju, but it's just XP Man and and Zanza. Are they going to be able to get out in time? I think they are, because Draconic thought he was going to, but he does not. He actually goes lobby, and just in the nick of time, XP Man gets out. So close to dying. He does only have 75% Uber, but big lift there.
I just saw Zanza get hit with a mean twofer in lobby. That was looking diabolical. There's nothing worse. It's like air shots. Yeah, they're cool. But there's something about being fully 300 health or being 185 and just getting peppered. Oh my God. There's something about it that's just, it activates the neurons in my brain. But both teams, I can't even say both teams have Uber, because actually there's Uber ad coming out from the side. Oh, a force! Actually, Draconic! A soldier is getting a force into lobby, forcing everybody from the side of Sat6s to come out of the hut. But we're going to see the Finn actually go ahead and get connected, killed. But it's okay. We see some ad. You don't have your soldiers. You're going to get one back. You have some time. You have some plays to make this work. Now, Sat6s must respect this Uber, play your players back, and get ready for them to reuse Uber, or they might drop depending on the situation. But the need is they have to respect the Uber, especially now with Cosmo dead along that line. They can get in second. They don't even have to use the Uber. They can save it immediately for last, and they can try to use this and be proactive with the Uber M17.
Yeah, that was a really weird situation. Cosmo went in behind, and then Faded were just like, oh, okay, we can let you be on your own last. This we're already paused, but it looks like with this 20 Uber ad, it's going to be Faded trying to aggressively use, hopefully for them, catching XP Man right before he gets Uber. He is kind of close to this one door here, so I wonder if that's what's going to happen, but I'm not sure. It is 6-on-6, and you still got to get through the demo and the scout. Maybe just a dead Effion here. Even a pick on Effion could be a huge way to just win the last point.
You know, what's really impressive coming into it as well, too, is that, you know, looking at everything that's being displayed or everything that is happening, especially with these players, it is all one thing that I find that's really exciting is that, especially if this is a pause, it makes me think it might be a Sat6 pause, unless it's an actual player. But Dr. Underscore hasn't been messaged about if it's a player problem. We've mostly have just seen tag pauses, which is actually, you know what, really good. I like that. Knock on wood, but I like that. But I will say that aggression that we were actually seeing from Sat6 is they are meeting Faded with it and trying to be kind of disrespectful of how Faded was a little bit early within the actual series. But now it seems like Faded to an extent has adapted to that aggression, or if the chaos is ensuing, they take advantage of that chaos and just put it more into the favor of them rather than letting that chaos ensue on their own team, which is what I really like to see. A lot of it seems like the momentum is definitely back from what we're seeing as well too.
Yeah, it's definitely a big way to not let yourself get swept. It is grand finals. You can't let. This is where, you know, you have to actually make sure you win. You can't let yourself get carried away just because you have that upper bracket advantage, which is a good turnaround for the side of Faded, and that's something that they're, I think, definitely looking, at least for now, to keep up. That they can keep making some really nice aggressive plays that Satisfactory is just not ready for. Like, for example, when I believe that was Finn was able to just get a nice drop onto the medic in choke. That was a very effective play there, but I don't think it's over for Satisfactory either. Like, I think it's going to be close still, but I have no clue where this map is going to go. It could go either way, to be honest.
Yeah, the way, you know, especially how everything's kind of unfolding, it makes it interesting whenever we see. Excuse me. It really is anybody's map at this point. There is nobody here who, and just as we say that, actually the map's actually bad. Just as we say that, and I think, game correct. Nope, we're good. Nope, we are absolutely all good. So yeah, Pause happen. Uber does get forced out from both teams along that line. And it actually seems to be more in favor a little bit of Sat 6's. No steb, no squish coming along that line, but there is a fight in lobby trying to go ahead and see if we can get any pick imaginable, especially where the Sat 6 does have player rat to walk in with it as well in M17, but it seems like for the most part teams are just going to kind of chill out and slow down and not worry about anything else.
Yeah, and with Satisfactory able to retake their second, they are going to slowly make sure by getting trapped on the choke that, you know, Fade can't really refight this. Finn is going to respawn and roll out still, so that means that it's just going to be another even Uber situation here, and it's going to be on the side of Fade to get something done. They bring a lot of aggression into IT. Actually, I think they're trying to do an aggressive use through. They think they have maybe a bit more ad than they do. They have 90 Uber, and actually, XP Man might be caught here. He's 94. He's going to go down on 94. Huge catch there from the side of Faded. Zanza is trying to go a little bit aggressive, but maybe overextending there. Goes down to Steb. That's 3 down for Satisfactory, and Faded is very happy about this. They're walking their way into last. Robo is going to get picked off by Finn. Oh. There goes Cosmo to Steb, and it's just F Beyond versus the world. And that is the second round in favor of Fade.
fadedthanaho is proving slowly but surely, and that was a pause. That was an actual attack pause. That was the last attack pause used from the side of Sat 6's. So this could be a turnaround. This could be exactly what we need to see going into it. But N17, another mid. Another mid. Go ahead and take us in, actually. Your mid's been pretty good. I like it.
Well, thank you. We're going to have neither team do anything crazy, although, as I said, I'm going to get some aggression, but just decided to back up. Both teams just feeling each other out for now. Here comes a high bomb from Robo Serrano. Draconic with a nice shot onto Evian, getting that kill. Robo Serrano goes down. Cornsauce got the kill, the trade onto Draconic. There was another trade for the side of Satisfactory, but with Demo alive, Faded is definitely in the advantageous situation here, as long as they take a long enough fight, and Satisfactory do not want to fight it, although Cornsauce, I think, didn't get the memo and thought his team was staying in. He's going to stay in. Cosmo does get the trade onto Steb and almost gets the kill onto JU, but that is going to lead to a very decisive mid-win for the side of Faded.
And that's what's going to make it really interesting, too, is that, you know, a mid-fight where it looked like Sat 6's had a little bit better positioning turned Horde, where everyone was basically just taking the same damage in one little spot, which went ahead and ruined a lot of health pools for a lot of these players coming into it. But what's also going to be really interesting here, too, is how they're going to combat some of this fighting coming into it with a bomb and a choke, trying to see if we can stop any point. But Cosmo, it's actually going to cost him his life coming into it as well, with the refight, trying to see if we can get the person on the floor, maybe even get some help, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Robo Serrano getting some, putting JU to 30 HP before he goes ahead and loses his life as well. No soldiers for the side of Sat 6's players along that line, and now we are looking at the case to where we are seeing Faded go ahead and take it in, a trade happening, but it's going to absolutely be better for the side of Faded, where they didn't have to take the initial trade and they don't have to flash as many people, and just as that, they might go ahead and actually catch XP as well, depending on how this is going. And Squish going to be one of the first to die by Cornsauce, and trades are being traded back and forth. Faded are losing all player advantage that they had coming into. Wow! Oh my god, stab the damage. Oh my goodness. M17, this is already looking kind of crazier than what we saw a little from Gullywash.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot more back and forth. It looked like Faded were really prepared there, because they were ready and they were playing to bait the soldier bombs into choke, and they got both kills. But then I think they just overchased a bit too far in the advantage, thought they could catch the medic, and I think they just could have gone for a couple of kills and just rolled that into last, but I think they just got a little too greedy, and that means that Satisfactory is going to be fighting. Wait, why is there a sentry gun on second? Finn got into the forwards, and he is on sentry gun level 2, just right outside of the spawn, which means he won't be able to like bomb or anything. Maybe they're just using it as like a, you know, hopefully like a help, like a deterrent, hopefully, just, or to help prevent bombs. But I mean, sooner or later they're going to see that there's no second soldier, right?
They have decided to use it as they said, you know what, I don't feel like, he said, I don't feel like counter bombing. I don't feel like doing that. I'm gonna just keep a gun up because why not? But even though we did see that, we did see no corn sauce, no robo. So that's actually pretty good in terms of, you know, instead of doing the 1 sec, you do 2. So they absolutely have the time, especially with the big old bomb from Draconic. Right on the XP getting that, and another rebomb going into play, putting XP at 15 HP, and he's not going to use this Uber, but he kills Zanza. He kills Zanza with 27 HP, having to force XP to back up, but he's coming back for his man. He wants for blood. He's hunting. He wants his man, but he isn't going to get it, but he lived a little too long. I would have loved to see more pressure coming out from his team to see if they can make something happen, but it isn't going to be the case. But regardless of such a good attempt with Squish also losing his life as well. Corn sauce, oh my, corn sauce coming through the choke like a hero, coming in like Frozone from the movie Incredibles as the Uber gets utilized right back on Effion, but he ultimately gets dropped, and this Uber that was looking plented, that was looking bountiful, has turned into hamburger helper that's been in your fridge for 2 years, spoiled, rotten, garbage.
Yeah, I think XP Man just dropped all those players there, and that's just going to be a mid-win there, or a fight one for the side of Faded, and they're going to be more than okay with that. They do have that 2-round lead already, and they're already going to be looking to create some sort of pressure, go for some sort of sack early before there's even any Ubers, although as I say that, it looks like they've decided, I think they're still discussing what they really want to do. I think they're planning maybe some sort of, it looks like they're playing an IT shove. Yes, they are. Here comes Draconic in aggressively, along with All Hype. Is not going to get much for now, but they have All Hype trying to run in. Cosmo pretty far back, getting some nice spam. Although they actually just push in with their Uber, and since XP Man didn't have Uber yet, they're able to get in and just push completely free. Although Corn Sauce comes back out and takes the exchange in on second. Zanza very low. This exchange is probably favoring the side of, Faded. It looks like it is. And the kills are definitely very, I was going to say they're even, but there's just so much damage in favor of Faded. Just one up, it's just Effion, and he's got to hold off versus the world.
Oh, he's got to do a one-man army with 20 seconds, with 20, oh my, bro, Squish is catching every pipe that Effion is just doing, outpouring in every regard, in every way. Oh my God. There's a whole series has just been Squish getting 2-piped in every way, but fadedthanaho proving that that dominant momentum is there again. 3 rounds up, 15 minutes left on the clock, and Satisfactory 6 players need to turn it around if they even want to get a chance at getting that grand finalist crown. Uber does, well, not even the Uber. Bombs go ahead and gets utilized. Corn Sauce losing his life. Robo might be next because he's in the corner by himself. Gets the pack, tries to go ahead and fend for himself, but ultimately does get picked up by Squish. Nice pipe coming out from Steb landing, but ultimately it's not going to go ahead and get the kill. Just go and cause some damage. Steb 10 HP living. Finn's going to be the only one who died at that mid, and it forces Satisfactory 6's players into the same situation again, to where Faded has mid, and they're gonna push into they're gonna push into second. But how they approach that stalemate is all up to them.
And they were trying to push into second really fast, but Effion got a ton of damage in the choke, which really delayed them. Draconic already in upper IT, actually gets the kill onto Cosmo, and he stays alive in lobby, gets the pack. That's going to be a huge nuisance for Satisfactory to deal with. And already Squish and Finn getting through on the other doors. Robo does get the kill onto Draconic from behind, but there's a lot of space created. Squish does get a kill onto Corn Sauce. All Hype is in. That's Robo going to go down 3 versus 5 now. They might have to Uber exchange. They are going to have to Uber exchange. Jade does use only a little bit later, so maybe not as bad as it could have been for Satisfactory, but I think Faded is more than okay with that because they still have a 2-player ad, and those spawners still need a few seconds, which means Faded has a chance to potentially push in when Satisfactory isn't ready, and here they come.
And as they're coming in, they're taking an initial drive fight. This is something what you definitely want to see, and we are still seeing some healing, but Stab's going to be one of the first to die within this, along with Hype. They went ahead and went in, but it looks like there was some miscommunication in terms of, are we going, are we sacking, what's the plan? It wasn't communicated effectively, which caused both of their deaths to unfold into real life. Now, we do see Dolphin going ahead and shutting down that second door, along with Draconic going ahead and trying to follow up off that damage. Love to see that kind of synergy coming out from both the soldiers, but it isn't going to happen. Hype is on the sniper class, so it's going to take advantage of that chaos and this chaotic transitional piece that's happening right now to see if he can get just a pick to get a pick. Robo going to be one of the ones to contest him, and is going to successfully get the contest and the kill, along with Steb taking some heavy damage right from the choke from Effion, who does not care. He does not coming in, killing Stab. JU and Squish all dying by the combo player. Coming in, Draconic trying to do something along that line, but isn't going to be the case. JU has 99%. Uber and he's dying on the clock. This is the momentum that we needed to see from Satisfactory 6's players.
The Finn hides in the choke and he gets the force onto XB, man. Oh my goodness, I thought Corn Sauce was going to clear it, and it looks like he did like a soft clear where he just like sort of half cleared it and was just like, that's good enough, but it was not good enough. It was still Soldier hiding. Big force there, and that's going to, I think, secure the hold here maybe for the side of for the side of Faded. Nice pipe from Stavolo. He's going to go down 2 picks in favor of Satisfactory, a bunch of picks in favor of Satisfactory. Squish is going to go down. He's just been left alive. He's going to get 1, but it's 1 versus 2 now. He does have to fight against the demo, and even with the spawner, it is not enough. First round on process in favor of Satisfactory 6's players. It is 1-3 with 12 minutes left.
12 minutes left on the clock in the dream. Do you want to be the I Am Grand Finalist, the winner, the one with the bragging rights and a little bit of money? I think mostly the bragging rights, though. To say that you won a shiny medal on your profile and some good old-fashioned smack talk with Cosmo getting the double right on the stand at the mid, closing the gap and not letting any chance of Fade to get any kind of hole win in mid. No way, Jose. They ain't faded in nothing with that stab kill coming into play. And Cosmo's still feeling it. The rest of the gang from the side of Satisfactory want to go ahead and make some damage. And that's exactly what he's trying to do in IT. Cause some mayhem, cause some damage. Everyone else is fighting 1-by-1. Squish and Draconic going to be one of the first to die. Finn going ahead and trying to get something in Al-Qaeda. It's not going to be the case with everybody but Steb and JU then with Uberhead on the side of Satisfactory. And that's exactly the need, the momentum, the pull, the forward, the W key that they need to go ahead and solidify any kind of disconnect between the team, and that's exactly what we're seeing, a disconnect between the demo, the players, and more. And Robo Sorrento going ahead and locking down this door like it's nobody's business. The key man, the door lock, the locksmith, and that's exactly what's happening. Another round on the board, and the momentum is coming back. They're looking to do another sweep, and it's looking good. M17.
Oh yeah, big momentum change here. 2 rounds very quickly, and I think that Spoon kind of just dispelled the entire way that round was going to go right from the start, because they just Satisfactory just kept the pressure up, and then Veda just kept losing players, and it just turned into an absolute disaster. We're on to this 6th mid now, my goodness, and we're still in the final map. It's been quite a long series so far, but we're almost done for now. Big bomb in here from Draconic is not going to get the kill. He is able to get 1 kill onto Corn Sauce. It's a 2 versus 2 trade. Here comes an aggressive demo bomb from the side of Steb, and along with the soldier bombs is going to get the kill onto XB Man. Although JU does go down to Robo Serrano. 3 versus 2 right now. Robo Serrano gets the rocket with the last rocket, gets that kill onto Steb. Effion cleans up Squish, and that's a mid-win for the side of Satisfactory. And their med spawn first, which means they'll have a small Uber advantage. I don't think it's going to be enough to push off of, but, you know, definitely, it's about like a 20% Uber advantage. Maybe not enough. It looks like, though, Faded is just okay with setting up one last. They already have all hype on NG.
If you're a Satisfactory 6's player fan, you must be feeling good right now. This is like watching the 2018 Super Bowl with the Saints and the Patriots. But the only thing that makes me even more sad is that the Patriots won and the Saints didn't. But, you know, that's just football. That's just Drew Brees being the best quarterback. Anyway, along that line, Uberat coming in for the side of Satisfactory 6's players looking to go ahead and make some room as well. They're getting into the second. They want to make this room. And at this point in time, a backstab soldier bomb coming from Draconic along with Cosmo with the forward spam as well, trying to go ahead and cause some chaos, cause some carnage. And Hype's going to be one of the first to die along with Tofin. XP does go ahead and die. That's unfortunate, but while you have player ads and something to lose, when you have nothing to lose, you can make this happen. Get into a different door. Corn Sauce already going to be the first 2-4 door. Already making space for Robo Sobrano to go ahead and do his thing. 007 James Bond. Big ol' bomb. Big ol' force. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Coming in through the side of 2. Getting the force. That's something beautiful from the side of Satisfactory 6's players. Going ahead and resetting the positional. Resetting the positions, going ahead and keeping themselves wild in second. They are down 1 player, and we can see Faded go ahead and make their stand and get in if they need to. Cosmo winning the fight. Oh wait, go ahead, watch your drop. No, it's in Drake Connick? Do we not just see that man get into the door? What are we doing whatsoever? But hold up, it doesn't matter because
Drake Connick is behind.
Drake Connick is behind, causing damage, and it's gonna get the kill on the Robo Sereno, and gonna maybe get the kill on the X.
Oh my goodness. He's still alive. He's living. Stop. There's no way he's getting out of this alive. Okay. Oh my goodness. That was absolutely absurd. He just lived for so long. Completely dominated that situation. Zanza's trying to peek in sewer, but it's a little tough when you're already down your med. Just don't have the heals. All Hype just has too much health like that, no matter what you do. Cosmo does get the kill into All Hype, but he's going to go down shortly to Finn and Squish. And Effion does get a trap kill onto Finn, getting a lot of those, but it's going to be a backup onto second. Actually, no, as I say that, Satisfactory decided we're refighting this. It's 3-on-4, or 4-on-4 now.
Oh, it's definitely 4-on-4. Oh my gosh, Robo Sereno and Corn Sauce going ahead. Oh, whoa! Turning that into a clear-cut special. When you all lose, you must hit the 4-man, and instead of the 4, we hit the 3-piece meal from Raising Cane's with extra cane sauce and a little bit more coleslaw. And I'm gonna say, who likes coleslaw? Yeah, I know you're hungry, aren't you? Yeah, underscore. Yes, sir. But we are looking at ad. We are looking at ad for this. Wait, hold up. There's a lot of damage being turned around. Drake Connick instead being one of the first to die along with Squish. Effion might have lost his life, but his team did not lose his spirit. Hold up. He grabbing his book, and he's saying like you ain't saying nothing, but the teacher no talk during no test. And that's exactly what we happened. We wrote Sereno on the hype because that he the teacher and he the student on hype. Oh my goodness, the hype is real, the ad is real, my reels, Instagram reels, you already know how we doing. Oh my goodness gracious, M17.
Oh yeah, 50% ad here for the side of Satisfactory. Finn is going to get a kill onto Cosmo. Zanza does clean that up, gets the trade kill. It is 5 versus 4 and an Uber ad here, so I think, yep, Satisfactory is going to come right in. Squish actually catches a nice direct. A late use here from XB Man, maybe a little miscoordinated. I think maybe they thought they could catch them, but they just didn't have a soldier in position to bomb. And so I think they kind of wasted that Uber there. And Faded is going to be, I think, willing to push. Although, as I say that, All Hype is still on heavy. So maybe they're just deciding they don't want to push this. I'm unsure at this point. It looks like they're getting slightly more aggressive, but they're not really, like, committing for now. And so Satisfactory is just okay to spam this and delay for a long time, and they're getting closer to their Uber, already 60% for Satisfactory, but looks like Faded is just trying to bully their way in without using, as they do get in through the lower door, and they do finally use Draconic Chases. Squish gets a kill to Zanza, Cosmo lags out, as there's a big chase here from the side.
Oh my!
Faded, and Jay lives at so low HP. Romo gets a kill on Draconic. 5 versus 4. All Hype is still alive on heavy on last, which means he's not here to push. And so I think, yeah, with that full Uber ad, here comes Satisfactory.
We saw this. Oh, we have seen this push already. There are traps on the beam. Do you see the traps? Yes, you see the traps on the beam. And we have ad. Oh my god, in 10 seconds, unless this reservation will end, but it got extended to another 60 minutes. That's what I love to see. That's beautiful. Now we are looking at 50 ad. Now 60, 40 ad actually for the side of Sat 6's players. Do they take this initiation? They have to go quick if they want to do any dream of making this Uber into an all-star Uber. We see the Uber coming, getting utilized through 4, getting round to the gun. They have 10. Oh, they have 10% of it, so the Uber goes ahead and gets utilized. Everyone has to say it's wrong. A lot of point tabs are being pointed out to the point, and the transitional period, the post fight's all going to be that matter. They all focus on XP, but we didn't focus on the combat players that are just up and about, spread out throughout the whole field, ready to capture this player in the moment's notice. Effion being the last bastion to go ahead and stop any kind of plays that what it is and what it means to be AHBO, and it's not going to be the case as everyone from the side of Satisfactory 6 players has died with the XP respawn and 40 seconds of 40% ad that Faded has over Satisfactory 6 players M17.
No, yeah, that looked a little dicey considering how much time Satisfactory had capped. The point was almost capped, but they were able to make it work, and they were very careful. Cosmo did try to bomb into the choke. Well, there is a sniper here. Who was that? That's Zanza in on forwards. He's going to get killed. And so is Roboserana. He's also going to go down. That's 3 down. That's going to allow Faded to just push into second, and Satisfactory is just going to have to back their way up to last. Faded is getting Uber now. Satisfactory still building. I think they'll get in time. It looks like they're just spamming, delaying. Epion's got traps somewhere here. Looks like, actually, I don't even know where his traps were, but they're gonna get out to last. It's gonna be even Ubers, and it is again Satisfactory on the back foot. But it is 3 minutes left until we go to the continuous overtime, and it's 3-2. Very close game.
A very, very close game. Last in the series. This is the 5th and final map of the best of 5. We saw a hard-fought battle. Squish again, catching the Epion sticky bomb pipe combo. Like it's nobody been in. Both teams have Uber. No hype, no squish. You have no scouts. If you go out right now with the momentum and speed, how is the medic going to escape with a pause at, oh my god, why do you pause at a crucial moment? Look at this rocket from Robo Soprano. That's a nice splash rocket, if I had to say so myself. But will it solidify? Will it kill? Will it force? There's no way to know. But I can tell you, there's no scouts. So denying this guy is going to be hard as hell.
Yeah, it definitely is. This rocket might like juggle him into the wall, maybe. We'll see. But it's definitely the right play to go when you don't have those scouts alive, because otherwise soldiers can just be absolute menaces, jumping completely around, just jumping around, being honestly like you can think of it as like just ants, just constantly being everywhere and just continuously being a huge threat to the team. Cosmo has already had gotten some point capture time, I believe. I don't know if that's... Yeah, he had gotten a lot of capture time, so I think he might be able to bomb out as well, even though Satisfactory has their meds safely tucked away on last. But maybe Epion might get killed by Finn. Maybe he's kind of in a weird spot too. If Finn notices in time, he might be able to catch that kill too. Not sure what's going to happen, though.
If I had to guess, from the way I'm looking at it right now, I'm 17. I think what's going to happen, potentially, Robo, we're looking at 2 endings right here. Robo gets the force, dies for it. It's looking splendid. It's looking good. While that's happening, Draconic, that's currently on try, sees 2 opportunities. He sees that demo that's chilling by upper lob by his lonesome. Basically by his lonesome. He ain't got nobody with him yet. Oh, I mean, he got XP with him. Basically, we're gonna say basically by his lonesome, or he could take the fight. He could take the fight with big old Cosmo right onto the point. It kind of just depends. He is buffed. He is healthy, so he has some opportunities to kind of go ahead and show, especially where the situation kind of lies now. He might not even go for something. He might just retreat with the rest of his team to try to go ahead and reunite and try to go for a better play. But if he wants to do something a little bit more proactive, he definitely has some options that he can go towards. Now, it's all depending on how it unfolds. That's the most important part going about it. But I can tell you that we're in for a treat. We're in for a treat depending on what these players decide, because whatever they decide, shoot, it's gonna be live. It's gonna be live. You know what I'm saying?
It very much is. I mean, anything could happen, honestly. Like, who knows? Maybe there's a crazy surf. Oh, here comes the unpaused. Amazing surf there.
Oh, beautiful surf.
From JU is going to get his way out, and that's going to guarantee his survival. Satisfactory is going to retake the point. Zanza's going to switch back off of Sniper. I think he's deciding what his team is going to do, but I think he's just going to stay on Sniper, attacking when he's defending his own second.
You know, and that's a little sketch, especially because they have a sniper as well. But I mean, hey, if you're trying to make something work, you're trying to make something work. Big old bomb coming out from the side of Cosmo, getting the force onto Big JU, as well as a counter Uber coming out. Steb might be one of the first to go ahead and die here unless he gets out, but it's not going to be the case. Cosmo also loses his life as well. Turn this into a 5v5, but both off classes are still alive and well. Finn Finn actually going to go ahead and get picked up by Zanza on the big sniper class, as both teams still have their sniper going to play within it. Now, who wins the SBS? That's also going to be really important. Zanza or hype. It's all about the hype, or is Zanza coming in with the Zans? You already know how he be, because he got bands, he's money, he's rich. It's all in favor. But we also see that Faded does have ad, and there's a chance they might utilize said ad. Now, it might be a little bit unlikely with how close it is, but there is a chance if they wanted to go for a good old-fashioned Uber check / heat check in 17.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what they could do. But I mean, with snipers, I'd be very cautious to do that. I feel like this is just a situation where Satisfactory is going to be like, okay, I know it's about to stalemate, or we only have 1 minute left until that continuous overtime, but since we have snipers, we might as well just try to work something off of that. We do have a few minutes to hopefully have our sniper take a peek, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. Zanza is looking for a peek. Gets a headshot onto Draconic, I believe? Or maybe he just took some damage, not 100% sure, but Zanza is peeking pretty passively here. He finally does see Squish and gets the charge kill onto Squish. Big first opening, and that's going to hopefully for Satisfactory create some pressure, but there is still a sniper that they have to worry about on the side of All Hype, and there is a sniper v sniper battle. So far, nobody has headshot anyone else, although there's the headshot from All Hype onto Zanza. He does live. Finn gets a kill onto Cosmo, and that's going to cause Satisfactory to back up.
Now they have to go ahead and play into this little SVS if they really, really want to. I don't think that's going to be the case, especially with Zanza just got headshot. He might not be feeling confident, but Effion feeling confident about hitting Squish with pipes. Squish, you are a pipe magnet, my brother. You catching this thing the whole series, my brother. The whole series, man. The whole series. The whole entire series, brother. But what we are going ahead and seeing is we did go ahead and see a little bomb on the JU, but nothing happened, and we are officially in the overtime as of right now. It is still anybody's game going into it, along with, oh my god, the movement being done by Corn Sauce, but isn't going to go ahead and get anything. Rebel Soprano and Corn Sauce are dying. This is also going to happen to Cosmo as well, and it absolutely is. Cosmo is going to meet his fate, meet his demise, and that's going to go ahead and create not the best situation you want to see coming out for the side of Sat 6's players. But hey, all is fair. We still have Zanza on Sniper. Maybe we might see a crazy pick and just kind of go ahead. Oh! That's going to be the first thing. Squish going to go ahead and get picked up by his answer. He's going ahead and staying in that choke height. Also losing his life step. Losing his life. Hold up. Satisfactory 6's players came to play, and that's exactly what they're doing. A force on the JU, and a hope and a dream going ahead and making something happen. Zanza did lose his life, but gets countered by Dolphin, and even though a force happened by XP, hold up, a big, oh my gosh, for a second I thought we were going to see Big Effion go ahead and go crazy with the Uber.
JU was called out, and Effion is going to get the kill.
JU couldn't get out in time, and it creates Uber ad for the life of them. That is insanity coming into it. But what you are going ahead and seeing is Uber ad for the fact of Satisfactory 6's players along that line. In this best of 5, this being the last and final map within the series, we made it all the way to the last point. Satisfactory 6's players have proven their worth to see if they are grand finalists. Now it's all about how this push is going to go in 17. Are we going to see greatness? Are we going to see aggression? Are we going to see kills? Or are we going to just see another are we going to see a Chance the Rapper kind of album, bro? Are we going to see the big day? Oh, it might be bad.
This is as close as it could possibly be. An aggressive Uber from the side of Satisfactory, and that's because they had that Uber at still. They're only able to get the gun, and JU does go low. Effion does get the kill into JU, but 2 go down for the side of Satisfactory. They do get a couple of kills here, but I think based on just getting the med, they're just going to back Zanza up with XB Man. They're going to have to back up to their own mid. And yeah, so Faded is going to be more than willing to get some space onto second, get some aggressive traps up here for Stev, hopefully trying to get an early pick. And Faded is going to have to, hold the second point now, but then they can also fall back to their last, even though they're down 40 Uber ad. But it looked like there was maybe going to be a sniper, but I think Satisfactory decided against it. They have a 60-ish, 50% Uber ad, 50-60% Uber ad that it looks like they want to use, although Zanza takes a lot of damage in IT, and they do aggressively use through choke. And I think JU is actually pretty far out. All Hype gets killed by Zanza. There was a big flank shove here. Draconic's still alive fighting Cosmo, and I think he's going to get that kill. Corn Sauce get the kill on the Finn, and Draconic is still alive in the sewer, but I don't think Satisfactory realizes. Oh, now they realize. Yeah, now here comes Corn Sauce trying to chase in, but they don't know exactly where he is. Cosmo is still fighting Draconic, the longest fight in history, and Draconic is still alive behind.
Bro, that man get to roam. That man gets to roam all around. That man gets to roam and do all his things, man. That man get to roam and do his things. Lou, to answer your question, I like the Celtics, man. I love the Celtics, even though we hate ourselves. We hate everything about ourselves. We trade away, do all that, and we get rid of Al because we hate ourselves, but it's all about it, man. We're just the Celtics, and we suck so bad this season. We might as well lose to. We lost to the Utah Jazz. We suck so bad this year, but hey, it's okay. That's fine. Fadedthanaho already got 100% Uber, and we are gonna go ahead and see that from Sat Sixes as well. Draconic goes ahead and finally dies as he was causing mass terror right from behind. Calls everybody noobs in the chat. That's crazy. Calling everybody noobs in the chat. Both teams have Uber. It doesn't look like we're gonna see a situation where they're gonna utilize it yet. We're gonna take advantage. Maybe try to go ahead and sack somebody. Robo going ahead and doing a little fade sack with. We might see a real sack come out from Cosmo. Not really entirely sure yet, though. Finn is gonna be another person to go ahead and die as they go ahead and contest the second. We actually are seeing the likes of Satisfactory 6 players get more and more aggressive as Cosmo loses his life for the Uber utilization. Now what's going to be important here is not to drop anybody within the Uber. Now the Uber goes ahead and gets utilized again, but it's not going to look so good for the side of Satisfactory 6 players as they're getting killed. But hold up. Oh, wait, hold up. Corn Sauce. Wait, Corn Sauce might be doing it to them, though. XB's dead, but Corn Sauce might be doing... Oh, he's not going... He got it done to him. I thought he was about to go ahead and do it to them, but them did it to him. Along that line, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But along that line, M17, we are looking. It's overtime. We might be looking at the faded dub. This might be the one. Well, yeah, this might be the faded dub. This might be it for M17.
It's not over yet, but this definitely could be it. There's about a 15% Uber, so not anything massive, but yeah, it looked like JU was caught there on second, and then XB man dropped a couple of players, and that just led to just trying to milk a little too hard, I think, trying to get a little too greedy, and that just led to a potentially disastrous outcome, because I feel like they maybe could have gotten around off that, catching JU out there in the door, but Finn actually able to sneak in, although as I say that, Effion gets the double scout trap kill. Soldier Bomb in is not able to get the kill onto XB man. Zanza gets a fourth kill, and that's going to be a huge run forward for the side of Satisfactory. Faded has to back all the way up to second. They are going to get some stickies up, but I think, yeah, Cosmo is still in. He's going in for the stun. He does trade with Steph.
Robo wants it! Oh, and he's getting it! He's getting it! And now hopefully no one else dies within this. Oh, but they utilize Uber again. This Uber needs to be a kill Uber. People need to die within this Uber. JU needs to die, and that's exactly what happens. It's a kill Uber with the medic being on the menu, and everyone else just trying to flood out the door to kill XP or get any kind of bill whatsoever. Hold up, and here comes Squish! Squishing them! He's squishing them! He's squishing everybody. Oh, before he gets squished up by Zanza. Not what you want to see coming in here, but Squish made an impeccable play and picked up two people like he's picking up a package from, oh my gosh, if you're going to Best Buy and you're going ahead, oh my gosh, I have a pickup order, I'm getting 2 items. That's exactly what bro did. He went ahead and got his 2 items and got the hell up out of there. And now the Super situations are just going to go ahead and even out once again. Hype is on heavy. We're not seeing any other kind of off classes as up forward, but both teams are going to have slight, if anything, it's going to be a little bit more Uber addition for the side of Faded, but at least for the most part, in terms of the situation and what they're going to do, they're going to stand last. We see Hype on Engineer. Both teams are going to build Uber and just try to do it again one more time in 17.
Oh yeah, I feel like that could have been around for Satisfactory. It could have been a 3-3, but Squish with the risky but high risk, high reward play that did come up huge, and that's going to even things out. There's a sniper and Steb with an interesting set of traps here, although I think they're gonna know, although actually it's just a demo slowly working their way through. Finally, Satisfactory gets Uber, so now they're gonna be able to start working their way in, figure out how they want to try to get a sack going, how they want to try to break this hold, because you gotta deal with an NG and a sniper, which is not gonna be fun. And for now, Faded has almost complete lobby control. They finally do start backing it up as Satisfactory slowly starts working in through lobby. They're definitely scared of getting sniped, so they're going to take their time, I think. But there's an aggressive peek in from second, gets a bunch of damage onto the demo, but no kill there. And everyone's just going to stabilize for now, and it's still going to be a hold. Both teams looking to just keep it going.
Oh, with the first headshot being on the Robo Soprano, with the first headshot being on the Robo, and before he gets traded up right in the 1, he said, hey, I'm gonna peek from 1, and he's done. Both scouts were on his face, but oh my, Dolphin going ahead and erasing any kind of trace of ad between both teams whatsoever. They try to take advantage of them having player as well, try to send some people in, but it isn't going to be the case. Squish and Finn are going to get the respawns, and Faded is going to have full ad coming into second.
Yeah, but Robo Serrano has spawned on Spy, but is he not going for the back cap? Steb is clearing the traps. It looks like they're gonna wait. They're gonna leave all hype on last with the sentry. They've done this a lot, but this could mean that Robo Serrano did get into lobby, and he is going for a pick. He's fighting Steb and does get the kill. XP Man did go down to Squish, but there's a huge dead player, a huge number of dead players from the side of Faded. Oh my goodness. Robo Serrano
No way.
Oh my goodness. He dies to the Soldier Bomb. Full wipe from Satisfactory. Faded almost lost that to the back cap, even though they're getting so many kills, but they are able to wipe them, and they're going to keep pushing forward. And they have a 25% Uber ad, actually, like more like a 30% Uber ad. And Zanza's still on Sniper.
This could be GG. This could be the game that ends all games. This could be the one. They have ads, they have players, they have no off classes. But Zanza is on the Sniper class. He is ready to JFK anybody that comes through that choke, any way, shape, or form, how you go about it. Now, what I will say along that line, what's going to be really important, is how he's being utilized. He's being utilized a little passively. He's taking advantage of his surrounding. Effion is on par with these traps. The Uber does come out. It's not really collecting any kills as of yet. Cosmo's going to be one of the first to die within that, but it happened within a little bit of a slight post. And Effion, made the mistake of being in lobby by himself as that Uber was happening. Did not meet with any teammates whatsoever. And now we are stuck in a critical situation. No demo to hold that glass in, and Uber to go ahead and try to kill whoever's forward. Now, Robo coming in and doing all kinds of damage. JU goes ahead and gets picked up as well. So a horrible situation turned into a miracle by the fact of we did not respect the Uber. Plain as day, we did not respect the Uber. Faded did not respect the re-Uber back into him. As we are going to go ahead and capture this point, we are going to get some spawners. It's going to be JU, Finn, and Squish, but Draconic is ultimately going to get back spawned. But Squish is on Sniper in forward, looking at the choke. I don't know if they're prepared for it, but they have to be. Someone's got to get right onto that forward so no one else has to suffer the same fate of being sniped through the door. As everyone else slowly but surely coming through the door, no one's stuffing the door. Robo Serrano's going to be one of the first to go ahead and stuff that door, and it's going to go ahead and have Squish back spawn. Effion, oh my god, 70 HP, but ultimately still going to work with this Uber ad.
Yeah, it's still a 30% Uber ad. They're about to get Uber on the side of Satisfactory, so I think they're going to try to work this in. Do Faded realize it is Uber dis ad? I don't think they realize. If Satisfactory uses aggressively in IT, they might catch him, although JU did back up right at the last second. Here comes the Uber, and a little bit of a miscoordination. Effion just gets two anyways. Oh my goodness. That is massive. Big fight on second here. This has to be the fight win for the side of Faded, but they're going to lose a third player here. They do still have Finn behind, but he's going to go down to Effion. Massive play there. They are going to already start working their way into last as Corn Sauce was building, but they're trying to push already, but I think they've decided better against it, and they're just going to play their Uber ad here.
Which would definitely be a better, I definitely would be smart just to wait for the ad, play the ad, and basically just go for kills along this line. Now, they don't have a gun. They do have time. Now, I would say they would typically have time to build this gun, but it's not going to be the case. And Robo Serrano is actually dying. No, Robo Serrano is actually dying in the worst situation when you're trying to build this Uber and you're just trying to go ahead and get it quickly so you can go ahead and use it as fast as you can. Now, they have a choice. They can wait for Robo and let the Ubers kind of close in along that line, or they can take it in and try to use the momentum and have him play in the post. It looks like it's going to be the case where they take the Uber in and have him play in the post. 85% Uber for the side of JU, and the rest of the lives are Faded as they go in that pressure point. Soldier going ahead and bomb forward. Dracona's going to be one of the first to die. Hype Heavy is still alive, going ahead and laying down everything within this pass. The Uber comes out from the side of Faded as well as they're going ahead and clean up everybody in lobby. Cosmo is going to be one of the first to go ahead and die as well, along with Zanza. The Uber is still in play. Corn Sauce and Co. trying to fight back the life that is Dracona. And Effion in the back end, just making stuff happen with Robo. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if everyone went ahead and died within the backline when you have Effion on your team, making the odds better for you in every way, shape, and form with ads back on the clock for the team of Satisfactory 6's players.
He even lives, which means he's going to be he's going to be ready for this last push with the full Uber ad. They're already working their way into lobby. and Satisfactory 6's players has a big advantage this time, but they need to make sure they coordinate together. There's actually nobody on the other side for Faded, but I don't think Satisfactory realized. Here comes the aggressive Uber, a bit of a split up, but FDM with an aggressive bomb. Zenza did get 1 kill there, but 2 more kills favor the side of, Faded. Bunch of kills going out for both teams. Nice shots there, but it's just going to be XP Man and Robo having to leave here. Robo does get a kill into Squish, but it's just XP Man leaving.
No.
And he's going back in. This is not going to work. Okay, he decides
way.
better against it and just decides to leave. I think, yeah, the players had to resub, so they're just going to not be able to chase. Although, as I say that, Vin is bombing. No, he decides to just stand on the point, and there's going to be no chase there. But it is going to be a small Uber ad for the side of Satisfactory 6's players.
You know, at that point in time, they definitely had something to where they had their Uber. It was looking good. They used it a little aggressively. They didn't get as deep as I'd like them to get, but even within that post fight, it seemed like we were all kind of messed up in terms of where we wanted that post fight to happen. You had some players on right, they got caught out. We saw Effion be one of those very few players that got caught out by that. We didn't have a solidified plan of what we were going to do in the post Uber. Now we are at the same situation. Uber ad, what are we going to do with the Uber? What's the post plan? As long as we get those things down, it will be more likely successful, but it's all about how this next Uber is going to go. Uber comes in through 4, and we are going to actually see Cepeda go ahead and get this Uber. Now, do they go ahead and kill Engie? Engie does not die. Hype stays alive. JU dies with 97 HP or a 97 Uber along that line. Now they just have to play together, play as one team, get reset by to focus and consolidate the damage onto the heavy that's here, that's rolling everything in his path. The heavy's dead. The soldiers are getting bullied. And Satisfactory 6's players have solidified themselves again, and it is now a 3-3. It is anybody's game.
Oh my goodness, it's literally could not be closer than this. Down to the last possible round. Oh my goodness. What a long night. We're still going here. 1:45 a.m. and we are still going. And keep in mind, these teams played most likely an hour of pregame scrims too, so this is like their 6th map tonight. So teams are going to be probably getting, tired at a certain point. You might start making some silly mistakes. Here comes a bomb from Draconic, trying to get in. A lot of damage onto Effion and XP Man, but XP Man and Effion get their kills on their respective soldiers, and that's going to be to win a mid one on the side of Satisfactory. All hype goes down. That's 3 down for the side of Faded. And here comes the aggressive spoon attempt from Cosmo, not going to get anything. Robo is going to get this catch out onto Squish, but Squish is going to trade out with Robo. And so I think that's going to mean that Faded is going to get their Uber in time for last. But Satisfactory 6's players is now on the upper hand. They have the advantage. All they have to do is cap last this one time, and they win IM.
It is up to Satisfactory to win IM, but also it is not over for not Faded or Faded than a Yodi gang. They can go ahead and stop this, especially because they have even Ubers. They have a dream, they have a will. Now Squish has been going ahead and making some crazy moves on Sniper. It could be the same situation again along that line. Could be the same situation along that line. Just depends how we go ahead and set up. But we do see an engineer on Hypes on Engie. We see Squish on Sniper. And Robo Serrano is actually on Sniper too, with Cosmo going ahead and getting his life taken from him by Draconic. Now Squish gonna be the man, the myth, the legend. He might peek out of 2. Whoopsie daisy goes for the shot, doesn't connect it. Oh, and no punishment, no damage to him. He gets a peek through another door. 1, hold up, boom, does it again, almost dies to the traps. Robo Serrano gets the pick on Draconic. Hold up, he has to watch himself now. Robo Serrano was the original scout before they switched up on bro, and now he's back playing the sniper class and looking beautiful in 17.
The Squish is going to get the trade kill onto Zenza. I took a peek at the log. The first 5 rounds were all less than 6 minutes, and that 6th round was 28 minutes long.
Oh my god.
That was a little bit insane. Cosmo takes a ton of damage, is going to live, get bowed up by his medic, and they're just going to be backing up, and I think, this is the round, so I don't think Faded really wants to be too crazy with the risks. You gotta be careful, because if you get backcapped, it's over. If you make a silly mistake, it is over. Robo already peeking into lobby on Sniper. Well, for now, just taking his time, waiting for his team to clear these traps up. Finn does get the early spot, and they now know that there's a Sniper in lobby. Robo taking some aggressive shots, but Squish wins the duel, getting the kill onto Robo, and that's gonna cause Satisfactory to back up.
He's unleashed. He's unleashed. He just got the snipe, but he ultimately does get picked. They had to shut him down, and Finn actually lost his life too, putting both teams on a long respawner. But just as we saying that too, hold up. And the Uber did get forced out from Finn though, so he did a phenomenal job of being the entry, the initiator. And he just typed nice in chat along with justice in chat. I don't know justice for who, but he definitely said justice along that line.
Yeah, something interesting here is they've had the sentry on last pretty much every time. All Hype has stayed sentry on last, so is Satisfactory going to be able to deal with it? You know, they're down players as they are going to keep fighting, but they do just kind of beat players. Cosmo just dies by himself, and the medic, Ju, was completely safe. He had not committed at all. He was completely safe in the lobby, tucked away, and they just baited in the aggressive sack, and that's going to be a potential mid push here from Faded, although they did still have all Hype on Angie, so they might not be able to get away with this in time. They are trying to go through IT. They do end up using quickly, but XP Man does have it. Actually, no, he didn't. He dies with 97% Uber.
But now it's all about the post, so if the post goes well, this might still be in the terms for them. Stab at 74 HP, gets eaten up, yum. Hold up, Corn Sauce wants his mans. He's hungry, he's looking for his next meal, but he's gonna do it with his team. He's not gonna overextend, he's not gonna do anything crazy along that line. We actually are seeing everybody in the likes of Faded just in sewer, staying in sewer, gonna go ahead and use sewer as a way to go ahead and shield themselves from any kind of damage or any kind of chaotic surprises that they see displayed before him. Also, we see Zanza again back on sniper, trying to see exactly where everyone is. I don't think they expect everyone in sewer. Corn Sauce getting the early information though. Zanza taking a peek into sewer, doesn't connect any kind of shot, and they still have to respect the Uber once again. Just as we say it, and Cosmo is going to get the pick on the Finn as well. Or exactly, yeah, never mind. Reverse that.
Yeah, well, Zanza did get a body shot onto All Hype, which I think is going to hopefully even this out for them, although Squish does get a kill onto Robo Serrano, and that's going to let... oh my god, Epion with the trap kill again onto Ju. Huge play. That is going to completely save his team and turn the momentum, as long as he can make sure that, or as long as Satisfactory can make sure that they don't let an all-in happen. But it looks like Finn is, I think, hiding. It looks like they're planning on doing a sewer shot, I think. Or Finn is maybe hiding in the enemy team's sewer, looking to do something. We'll see if he gets spotted.
They don't. Epion is laying these traps out strategically, and they ain't checking them. They ain't checking these traps. But I can go ahead and tell you that the way we're seeing this right now is going to unfold in a way that you haven't ever seen it before. As we high bomb, little air shot. Okay, I saw that little air shot in the sky. As XP goes ahead over, he can't serve it. It's not X Games. He's on X Game mode. Oh my God, Epion! Oh my God, Epion! Oh my God, Epion! He's so good. He's so good. Oh my God, he's so
Cosmo
good.
bombed and died on his own bomb, but Ju surfed the rocket into Epion's pipe back on mid. Finn on heavy in forwards, trying to hold this off. It's gonna be a small Uber ad, about a 20% Uber ad for the side of Satisfactory. And they're back here again on their last. Maybe they'll try to use it aggressively. Finn is still in the forward spawn on heavy, but Faded is getting a gun up as well, so this is going to be a tough cookie to break. But there is one thing that I don't know if Satisfactory realizes, but Faded has nobody again on this right side. And I don't know if they realize that they might be able to get through, although they're actually just going to use right through one, and Robo Swan did kill onto Finn in the forward spawn, so here comes the push in the last.
Yeah, gun goes down. Faded is going to have 90% Uber, but there's a lot of point pressure. They are going to all go ahead and start going for point. Ju at 99% going to go ahead and get the Uber. Zanza's going to go ahead and die. Squish goes ahead and dies as well. No one else from the side of Satisfactory sees place has died yet. Robo Soprano's going to go ahead and put his body on the point. Uber post fight is over, and now they can go ahead and try to choose to fight this fight again. It's all the way up to Sat 6's place. If they get another pick, and it's going to be unstabbed. That's a beautiful pick. That's a beautiful story coming out. And beyond with the likes of his man wants to come out. Corn Sauce is dead. Oh God, but it doesn't matter for the likes of everybody else within lobby. Oh, and Epion gets the trade on the Finn with some Uber ads still working in his favor. Satisfactory 60 players has to lock something down with this Uber ad once more. Epion is going to have a 5-second Uber cooldown, but they are going to get Uber. That's the most important thing going against it as well. They can wait for the trade, or they can take the momentum again. There is no gun, which means they can get through a door and get as deep as they need to, especially while Hype is just now building a gun onto last.
Yeah, they don't have enough time to get a good gun set up. This could be a little scary. Yeah, it's only level 1, and here comes the push in. They do use Uber a little bit late. They're getting a lot of space. There is a counter Uber from the side of Faded, although Robo gets a pick off the step. That's huge. A demo kill is massive. Robo gets another kill on something and is still alive in heaven, doing a ton of damage onto Draconic. All head gets low, but it's not enough. It's a 3-on-3 here. Robo coming in, doing insane damage. Oh my goodness, Robo has absolutely nuked the enemy team on this push. And it's just Stab coming in alive, and it's a last second fight. XP Man, oh my god!
Yo, man! True! Satisfactory success players! Coming back from an impossible grand final. Upper bracket advantage. They were against it all. They lost Bagel 4-0, only to come back on Clearcut and Gullywash and finally process to solidify their freaking dub. Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my god!
And what a way to end it too. Your soldier dies and you're alone as medic versus the other med in demo, and you just finished the cap.
Oh, MVP corn sauce, MVP corn sauce, MVP corn sauce. What the helly? MVP corn sauce, MVP corn sauce. Yo, let's look at the logs though. I need these logs immediately.
I'm taking a peek at these combined logs, and it looks. I mean, XP Man had 12 fewer deaths in the entire series, but XP Man had 8 drops. JU had 6 throughout this series. A lot of med deaths there. Anything besides that? The only thing I see is it looks like Robo Solano really did step it up on those later maps. It looks like he went absolutely nuclear on process. Maybe it was on the map before, but it's definitely a very close log, and it could have gone either way.
Squish dropped a almost 60 burger. Goodness gracious, a 60 burger. Goodness gracious. But even when you look at the combined lot, Effion was putting up that damage, boy. Oh my goodness. Look at all that demo damage. Bruh. Oh my goodness gracious. Before we get out of here, M17, you gotta say it. Also, oh my gosh, wait, Dr. Underscore, you want a burger. You want food. It's 2 a.m. Oh my gosh, you want food. You want Applebee's. Oh my god. But before I say it, MVPs and shout outs, man. Do you got any?
Oh, MVPs for this. Ooh, that's tough. I think I have to say Effie on here because there were so many times where he was just getting like so many just crucial trap kills. I feel like JU died like 10 times to a trap from Effion, which is just absolutely insane. And especially considering how hard they lost on Bagel, they turned that around, which was very good for them. Besides that, shout outs to all the players. It was shout out to this match. It was a really, really good game.
Hey, but don't think the tier 2 action not on. We still got advanced upper bracket final happening right now. JW versus Taz, aka Mr. Bible versus Asian Ziz. You already know how it's going on. Thank you so much to M17 for casting with us. Thank you for Mr. Dr. Underscore for telling me words I can't repeat. And being our producer. Listen, we're Fireside. We got more action coming on. Don't leave. And because I said it was happening, congratulations. Everybody that I said is getting money from CEO is getting money. He is giving everybody $1,000. He's getting Looster $2,000. And he's giving Dr. Underscore, you know what? You own the house and a Lamborghini. I ain't make up the rules, but we're Fireside too. Y'all have a good night.